folks. Quick disclaimer before we begin. Oh, I need to mute myself on the stream. Well, let's try this again. Quick disclaimer. Pride After the Fall is a series about exploring queer identity. While we are here to have fun, our intent is to speak truthfully, pulling from our own lived experiences. Topics such as sexuality, bigotry, and trauma are inexorable from queer lives, and will undoubtedly come up in play. We appreciate that these topics can be upsetting for some viewers. By sharing our game, my only intent is to engender discussion, create solidarity, and give a little hope to a community ever beset by troubling times. Also, we're going to be saying some naughty words, so heads up on that. And with that, hello everyone, and welcome to the party. My name is Fox, and I will be your hostess for today's game and the first installment of Pride After the Fall. But real quick, before we get into that, a little reminder that capitalism waits for no one. We have sponsors. First up, Devin Rue, the mistress of maps. You can find all of their super cool maps over at ruink.com. That's rueink.com. Second up, Tabletop Loot. They sell dice. You're a nerd. You need to go get you some. Head over to tabletoploot.com and buy you some rad dice. And speaking of nerds, did you know that our official merch store is So Nerdwear? You can go over there, and if you need like a cup with our logo on it that you put fluids in, or like a shirt that you could put like chest fluids in, head over there and be sure to use promo code WELCOME to get 10% off your next order. So Nerdwear, it's what the nerds wear. But if you'd like to also send us a little money under the table but over the table, we've also got a Patreon. You can head over to patreon.com/welcomepartyrpg and, slip a couple bucks our way, which we, are planning to use to do things like we want to hire writers and we want to hire artists and creators to keep growing this kind of, honestly, incredible community that I'm so privileged to be a part of and would love to see you a part of. To that end, in fact, we've got a Discord channel. The link for it's probably down there or over, like way over there somewhere, depending on the chat. And you should come in there and you should hang out with us and maybe be in one of these games yourself, or just yell at me for having too long of an intro for this series. Okay, now that we've got all that out of the way, let's introduce our players. So I'm just going to, excuse me a moment while I turn my head. We're just going to kind of go around and start with Michi. Tell the folks who the hell you are, where the hell they can find you on Twitter, and how the hell are you doing right now? How you feeling?
Well, hi, I'm Michi. You can find me on the Twitters at Michisaurus. I like to yell about a lot of things. I'm doing all right now. I'm super excited for this. So
awesome. Capjack, same 3 questions, same 3 prompts. Who are you? Where the hell can I find you on Twitter? And how the hell are you doing?
Hey everybody, I am Capjack, or at Captain J Cross on the Twitters, and I'm doing fantastic. I am really, really excited for what we got going on tonight. So, yeah.
Okay, and my new friend, Connor. I don't know much about you, so who are you? Where are you on Twitter? And how are you feeling tonight?
Hi, I'm Connor. I am on Twitter at Connor A. Walters. And I am doing quite fine tonight. I'm excited to be trying this wonderful thing in front of a group of lovely people.
Awesome. And Nerdy, for once, I'm the one asking the questions around here. Who are you? Where are you? And what's your deal? How you doing, Nerdy?
Hey, I'm Nerdy. You can find me on Twitter at NerdyTeddy. I mostly retweet things there. Sometimes I yell at things, but mostly just retweet stuff. And I'm good. I got most of my stuff done today. Procrastinated a little bit, but got things done, so I'm good.
Awesome. And as I mentioned up at the top, my name is Fox Barrett. You can find me at Fox_Barrett on Twitter. And I am really nervous because this is the first time I've ever run a stream for Welcome to the Party. And I'm trying not to hyperventilate right now, as you may be able to tell from my manic speech pattern. But we're going to push through that because, let me bring up my notes, because tonight we are going to be playing a little game called Dialect by Catherine Himes and, I hope I pronounce this right, Hakan Sayaliolu? Hakan something. I'm so sorry. I dug around so hard trying to find this fella's name and how to pronounce it, but we're going to be playing Dialect, which is a game about a community, the language it creates in its isolation, and then how that language dies. I know, like super peppy stuff for Pride Month. It's gonna be super fucking great. And yeah, so let's kind of get started on our way there. So to begin with every game of dialect, we always start by reading the what's called the backdrop prompt for it's going to kind of define the situation that our what's it called, isolation, is in. So in this case tonight we are playing a remix of one of the backdrops from the main book called Beyond the Village by Alex Roberts. I've taken a few liberties with it, so this may seem a little familiar. It may super not if you haven't played the game. So let me get to reading. When the cataclysm hit, it didn't take everything, but it took something from everyone. In the confusion and the pain left in the cataclysm's wake, our society formed a new hegemony, and that hegemony formed a city. They hate us here, just as they have always hated us. We stay outside our city. Oh, we stay inside because outside our city is the wildlands, and the wildlands belong to the cataclysm. So here we are, almost 100 artists, laborers, hustlers, and weirdos, making an abandoned parking garage on the edge of town our home. We are not the good ones. We missed the parade. We're the cockroach motherfuckers that were left behind when the cataclysm took the gentle and the hegemony took the patient. We're here, we're queer, and we don't want to be seen by straight people. So it's a little militant, our backdrop. Shit's a little dire. We talked a little bit before stream on like what the nature of our what happened to the world and what's up with the hegemony, which we can get into a little bit here. Because this is going to be a little bit different than a normal game of dialect, because this is going to serve as like part one for the next two games. So we actually need to kind of define terms to, like, this game in the playing will become like backstory for the next two games, which is really fucking cool. So it sounded like what we were kind of settling on initially was I had put forward this idea of like maybe there was some kind of like a mimetic virus that had gone around and just caused the world to just go completely to shit. And as a result, the hegemony has got a very firm interest in maintaining ideological purity to keep, other such catastrophic mimetic events from happening again. And obviously we got caught in the crossfire of that. I want to open it back up to the table to say, like, if we've had any thoughts about that, if anybody's got any suggestions, ideas with regards to that before I get into the aspect questions.
I have no new thoughts.
That's fair. Hey, like, if that still sounds good with people, we can kind of take that and run with it, for sure. Speaking of, like, I know I jabber a lot. Feel free at any time to stop me, and if you guys want to cut in with something, like, again, this is an open table. This game is GM-less and collaborative, because community has always been what saves us, and I believe very strongly in that. In that case, then, let's go ahead and jump straight to the aspect generation questions. So, let me get over on my Roll20 window and close that down. Here we go. As you can see over here at Roll20, I've got these little red words that say, like, this is our first aspect, this is our second aspect. There are three, like, defining ideas for our community, like three things that are kind of like what make us who we are. And in this game, we call that our aspects. And I just lost the thing I was reading. Here we go. And the way we define these is by answering a trio of questions. These questions are open to the table, so we're going to discuss these as a group. Our first one is bash back. How do we defend our most vulnerable members? So, who's our most vulnerable members, and how the hell do we defend them? I mean, is this the obvious one of, like, the youngest among us are the most vulnerable? Like, are sick because we don't have a lot of ways of taking care of them? Is it a specific, like, subset of us, or?
I think, so we were talking about resources in particular being held sort of back from our community by the hegemony. So I think like the sick or the disabled, it makes sense for, like, the people who need resources to make society accessible are most vulnerable.
Sure. Sure. Okay.
Yeah, I'm totally down with that.
Okay, so an aspect needs to be either like a word or a short phrase that kind of like sums up an answer to that question, essentially. So these people that are our most vulnerable, like how do we defend them? Like what idea is like central to the way that we defend these people? And we can interpret that as broadly as we like. Like, I mean, speaking from my own experience, easily enough, like, hey, if we have trouble getting hold of like transition related medical care, like if we can't get a hold of hormones, defense would mean like breaking into like pharmacies and stealing shit. But that could also just mean that like we have like patrols or something that like keep the shittier people away from our folks. So
I mean,
Anybody?
I personally like a whatever it takes mentality.
whatever it takes. Whatever it takes is pretty intense. I don't hate that as an aspect. I mean, I wonder if I can make that more specific, like or maybe just whatever it takes is like by itself. You know, it's so crisp. Yeah, go
I
ahead.
think it's strong, and it sets a good starting point for things to develop from there, right? Like if you start with whatever it takes, then you have lots of opportunities for that to potentially go wrong or
Oh,
to
for
go
sure.
right, all those sorts of things. So
I have to type a bunch of this game, and I put my microphone directly in the path of my keyboard. I'm very good at this. I'm very good at this, y'all. So there you go. So that's our first aspect. Whatever it takes. That's what we do to defend our most vulnerable members. All right. Our second aspect generation question. Nuclear explosion. What does family and childcare look like to us? So yeah, how's our family units formed? How as we deal with the kids around us?
who are our youngest? What age group do you think is the youngest among a group of people who like have not self-selected exile, but like have been selected for exile, right? Like,
Yeah,
what
we've been driven to this, I think.
Yeah.
Like we were the ones that decided not to conform to,
Right.
ideological purity. So we were like, fuck that. We're just gonna go squat somewhere.
Yeah.
Um,
So I am wondering what like our youngest folks are, and like, and how do we even define children, right? Are children in our community necessarily aged children, or are they people who are relatively new to recognizing their self-identity?
ooh, that's really good, actually. I kind of like that broad interpretation of that.
With the hegemony and limited resources and restricting of resources, are we able to have children, or are we not cleared for that?
Yeah, wow. I definitely suspect that there's probably statutes and or laws against people like us making more people.
Yeah.
There's certainly parallels to that in the real world that I won't get into, but hooray for being trans. Anyway, yeah. Jesus, we're like 5 minutes in, and there we are. Anyway, yeah, gay
We knew we
feelings.
were going to go there, so
This is why I had a disclaimer at the top, y'all. But yeah, so what's like a short, like a good word or short phrase that describes like how we take care of like our the people we see as family and like newcomers and stuff. Although I mean, to go back to answer Connor's question, like also keeping in mind, yeah, like how young do we skew? I mean, do we skew younger than teenagers? I think it's certainly more interesting if we do, but
I mean, given the aspects of the way we've already kind of built it, and that we're, I think, village. I think we each have to work really hard to help each other, whether it's the young kids or the people new to their identity. We each have to work hard to help those people, especially with limited resources and stuff.
okay. So do you
I
like
that.
like just the word just village, or did I mishear that it takes a village?
Oh, I just said village, but yeah,
Oh, yeah,
implying
yeah.
that it takes a village.
I was gonna
Yeah.
say, I think it takes a village is really strong. I think village was a smart. Yeah, I like this a lot.
I will admit
Yeah.
it's really funny to me because our first aspect is whatever it takes, and the second aspect is if to say, yeah, we know what it takes. It takes a village.
Yeah,
This is great.
I like
Okay.
that.
What does it take? It takes a village. All right. And then our final aspect generation question is free aspect. The choice is yours. So we get to just basically decide on a third thing that defines our community, and what it means to be here, what it means to be who we are. So both fortunately and unfortunately, we didn't kind of bump into anything while we were talking about the other two that we want to kind of, that makes an obvious choice here. But yeah, like, does anybody have anything that kind of jumps to mind, or even like the kernel of an idea that maybe we could spin out in terms of what else, what third pillar of who we are kind of defines this place?
Radical acceptance.
I actually kind of like that.
That's neat.
Yeah, I like that.
Well, could we dig into it a little bit? Like what does that mean to you exactly? Radical acceptance, because that's very evocative, but I want to make sure it's unambiguous what that means.
Sure.
I asked a heavy question, y'all. I'm so sorry.
You did. No, it's good. You want to dig.
It's good.
I mean, because I will say to me, and this is me thinking down the road to Dream Askew, certainly, but one of the really cool things about that game is that it has a very, very loose grip on what does and doesn't constitute like gender. Like, it's got some really bonkers stuff in there. Like, one of the characters, like, the available genders is, like, Dagger Daddy. And it's like, what the fuck is that? Who knows? It has something to do with the apocalypse. It's fantastic. One of them is, like, a raven. It's just, like, totally buck wild shit.
Just
Sorry?
straight up goddess is one of them.
Yes. Yeah. Like, so certainly this could be something where it feeds into, like, hey, we don't give a shit how you identify yourself. We don't give a shit what labels you apply to yourself. If you know that you don't fit in over there, that's enough. And we just come on in. Fuck it.
Exactly.
Okay.
Like, as soon as you don't align with, the hegemony, which is really not hard to avoid,
Yeah.
then welcome.
Okay. So yeah. So we'll make our last aspect. Oh my God. Roll20. I need you to super cooperate, please. Radical acceptance. There we go. All right. Awesome. Okay. We've got our third aspect generated. All right. So now that we've answered our aspect generation questions, we have a series of community questions. So these are a little less formal. They aren't going to be like used to create ideas specifically, but they're kind of just here to let us help us flesh out like what's it like living here. And these are a little bit different. We do still get to kind of discuss them, but I'm going to ask each of you one question and then finish on myself. And whatever our final answer is, like it's that player's, kind of decision to decide on. Words equal yes. So let's see. I'm just going to go around. Awesome. I'm just going to go around the box here. So starting with Michi. So I got a question for you. All right, so first question. Fuck hierarchy. How do we make decisions about things that impact everyone?
We talk about it. Like, this is...
So, like, we hold, like, forums and stuff. We don't have, like, a designated, like... This is an inner sanctum. It's more of, like, a big kind of...
Yeah, it's like a big town hall kind of thing. It's like, okay, here's the problem. Here's the solutions that people have come up with. Do you have anything else to add? Which one of these sounds the best? How can we workshop this so that the most people are taken care of?
Okay. I could definitely see that being born out of, like, we're just this weird mishmash of people, and, like, we're the whole thing we're running from is that there's a tiered system of citizens, and it's like, no, fuck that. Flatten that shit. So, perfect. Beautiful. I love it. Okay, my next question then is for Jack. Hey, Jack. Besides hustling, how do we afford the things we can't make or grow ourselves?
I think that there's going to be an aspect of there are some raiders among us that they go and collect the things that we don't need one way or another.
Okay.
Beg, borrow, or steal.
Are these raiders that go out like into the wildlands to get their hands on stuff, or like that go deeper into the city to like take that shit from? Okay.
I would say they go into the city.
Fair enough. We like to live dangerously around here. All right. Continuing around the circle here. Connor, who in the community provides spiritual support and how?
This is an interesting question. I think that it probably has something to do with like tarot cards, or like sort of the general like occult shit that a lot of queer folks are already kind of into.
Oh yeah,
So
I know a lot of queer pagans.
yeah, so I think some of it's related to that. Maybe some amount of, yeah, I don't know, fortune telling or prophecy,
Sure.
or some sort of,
Or even just good old fashioned witchery. I mean,
yeah, I think,
absolutely.
yeah. So like traditional nature connected spiritualism is like sort of the broad thing. And as for like who provides that, it's sort of anybody who feels called to. I think that obviously for our community, it makes sense that there aren't like any sort of gender restrictions or like any sort of restrictions on who can be spiritually supportive. It's just sort of whoever feels called to that as part of radical acceptance, like they get to do that work.
Yeah. Oh, it's awesome. We got a bunch of witchy folks just running around making people feel good. I love it. I'm so into this. That's why I married one. And then next up, Nerdy. Oh, this is so good because I'm always bugging you for like the names of like what's the donut place around here? Well, good news. I've still got one of those questions for you. Check this shit out. The rainbow let us down. How do we identify ourselves visually?
Ooh.
Yeah, like what's our iconography? What's our, old flags were no good anymore, so we need something new. And they can certainly be riffs on old stuff. I mean, we've got our pink triangles, we've got our battle axes,
Bricks.
bricks, certainly.
Yeah, I was trying to think. It's always when you're trying to think of the thing that for me, it's always when I try to think specifically about that thing, I can never remember it. But I think it'd probably be important for us to maybe not totally let go of the rainbow, but have something a little more or a lot more punkish, rage,
Okay.
Are you open to like suggestions right now?
Yes.
Okay. So what about, so like the rainbow is a thing that comes like after a storm, right? And so it represents like the piece that's over. So if we're like waiting to find the rainbow, what if our symbol is something related to like storms?
Ooh,
That's really good.
Maybe something related to like a hurricane. It's very ragey, very wrathful type thing.
I mean, I admit I was kind of like, what came to mind when you said like we don't want to completely give up on the rainbow, but that it's kind of morphed into something a little angrier. Like, what if it was like a lightning bolt shape, but it had the colors of the rainbow like striping down
Interesting.
Something like that. Like, it's still relatively simple. It's like a shattered version of what the flag used to be, or something like that, maybe.
Ooh, I like that.
Oh, I love that.
Remembering our history.
Yeah, but like recognizing that it is just such a different thing for us now.
I mean, it could be a network of the flags in a lightning shape.
Ooh.
Maybe. My thinking, I'm wondering too, is like, because if we're trying to maintain like that punk aesthetic though, like she was talking about, I'm trying to think of like what's something you could easily like spray paint on something, like on a wall as like a like kind of like a hobo code kind of thing where they
I mean, I just tried to put the jacket on that I spray painted destroy in pink and whatever other colors. It's too small now, but I mean, words like that are easy to spray paint.
True. I mean, if we
So like a pink lightning bolt.
I'd be down for that.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a really pissed off version of the pink triangle. Like I'm like way into that actually.
Yeah.
Okay. And is also, and again, I like it's a little crypto because you could just like, if you're trying to like mark like a safe spot or like the edge of our territory or something, you know, just be like, shh, shh, shh. And it just looks like
It
some
can
random
point
graffiti.
directions.
Sorry, I could not have possibly have heard that right. Say again?
Oh, it points in directions.
Oh, it points in directions.
Yeah. I like that. The rainbow sounds easier to hide too. We're trying to hide.
Yeah, we're trying to keep it kind of
amongst
low key.
things.
All right, fantastic. So the last question is for me, and it is, how do we accept new members? I mean, from the sound of it, we accept them with open arms. I wonder if we're at all cautious about like potential infiltration from the hegemony, or if we just kind of are naively like, nah, fuck it, get in here, you know? Like how guarded are we about that kind of thing?
Interesting. I wonder if there is some sort of like, not like some sort of like joining ritual or something, or I don't know, something
Mentorship.
that would like make people who are part of the hegemony uncomfortable.
Yeah. Like, or maybe I wonder if it's something like the way you find out about this parking garage full of queers is like you need to essentially have someone who knows you, and then if you have someone who can vouch for you, then it's like, come friend. But like if it's not that, we're just like, nope, don't know what you're talking about, keep moving, keep walking, or we'll bust your teeth in.
Like you have someone vouch for you, and if you fuck up, they also get taken down.
Yes. Oh, I like that a
wow.
lot, actually.
Yup.
It just goes up the chain of just like
Biker style.
Yep. If you bring that shit in, you're responsible for it. Oh, that's really good. I like that a lot.
Oh, it's a lightning strike because that hit travels all the way back up.
That's super good.
Oh, that's really good.
It
Oh,
all
that's
comes
really good.
together.
Oh, I love that so much. Oh god,
It's really good.
fucking love this game. All right, we've barely started playing it. All right, so the next step, now that we've kind of defined the shape of our, oh nope, there's one last thing in creating your isolation. We need to name this place. So we are all hanging out in a big, just massive, I don't know how many floors it is, however many floors it takes to shelter 100 people, concrete parking garage, full of queer folks. We gotta call it something. And we can go super obvious on this, or we can get really flowery and poetic on it. Like, I'm not gonna lie, it's a big stone structure. My first thought is we just call it Stonewall. But I don't want to just like
fine.
bowl over. If anybody else has thoughts, I certainly want to hear them.
I kind of like the idea of coding it a little bit. You know, maybe call it the deck, so you can tell someone to hit the deck.
Mm.
The deck. It's not too bad. Trying to think
Man, I
of.
love Stonewall though. That's really good.
It is good.
I mean, sometimes it pays to just be obvious, but you know, I wanted to at least give us an opportunity to kind of like roll around. I'm like thinking through my head of like, I mean, it's a parking garage, so is there like something car related or like travel related? I've also been trying to think of like other just really, really gay stuff, but like, because like if it was like a stretch of buildings or something, I'd just call it like the drag, which would be great. But,
Yeah.
But like this is like a building, you know. This is like a
Yeah.
fort almost. It's like Fort Gay, you know. So, but not that, because that's terrible.
Right.
Name.
Or gay doesn't work. It's not coded at all.
But no, I do like Stonewall as just also that connection to the history.
Yeah. I mean, heads up for anybody who's watching, in case you weren't aware, Stonewall was 50 years ago. That's part of why I wanted to do this, because like, yeah, our history, damn it. I mean, yeah, unless there's any objections, screw it. We'll just say I stumbled into the, roll 20. We need to roll 20. Work with me. Stonewall. There you go. Be nice, roll 20. We're allowed to not be nice. You have to cooperate. We know this is unfair, but you're a program, so who cares? Okay, now we've generated our community, Stonewall, which is great. Now we have to create characters. So as y'all will recall, I issued you 3 happy little cards at the start of this that have 3 different characters types on them. Like I'm kind of clicking on them for the stream, but like, as you can see, they have like a role on them, like artist, and there's a little explanation of what the heck you do, and then how you relate to the aspects. So, I guess what I will start by saying is, does anybody know for sure which role they would like to pick from their hand?
I do now.
Okay.
I do now too.
I saw Nerdy's hand go up, so yeah, we can start with her. Nerdy, what role are you taking? If you could just drag that out into the yeah, perfect. I'm gonna make this a little bigger so folks on stream can see it a little easier. So yeah, there you go. So go ahead and read that for us, if you would, please.
Go with Zealot. There's a right way for the isolation to live. You know what way that is. You'll convince the others. People talk to you about your followers.
Awesome. And then, so you identify with one of the aspects and you take it way too far. So which of our 3 aspects do you identify with and take to an extreme?
Whatever it takes.
Oh boy. Cool. Okay.
I like that.
Do you have a character in mind yet for like a name and a gender and that kind of stuff, or? Because we can optionally come back around to that while you think a bit.
Yeah, give me a moment.
Okay. Then I'm just gonna pull this card. I'm gonna shrink it back down. Put it over here for the moment. Who's next? Who else knows what they want to be? Oh yeah, that's right. Capjack. Jack. Show me your true form.
Aha!
Alright.
Going to be a scrounger.
All right, let me make that nice and big for the stream. Frick. There we go. Haha, bigger. Awesome. Please feel free to read that.
Something's in short supply here. We rely on you to provide whatever scraps of it we can get. People talk to you about getting what they need. You identify with 2 of the aspects. One of our aspects is causing the scarcity.
So what are they?
Let's see. The 2 I identify with are whatever it takes, and it takes a village.
Okay. So, which one of those 3 is what's causing our scarcities?
The radical acceptance.
Okay, so you think it's because we're pulling in too many people and we can't like sustain our supplies? Okay.
While my character isn't mad about that, it's, supplies are thin at best.
Sure. Okay. And do you have a character ready to go, you think? Or you need a moment to kind of think on that? That is totally fair. So I'm just going to shrink this back down, set it over here. Anybody next know what they want to play tonight?
Got mine.
Yeah, Michi, what's up?
I have Protector.
Oh, yeah, here we go. Make this nice and big.
Steadfast and secure, you are the shield that guards the isolation, either from the outside or within. People talk to you about safety. You identify with all but one aspect, and you fear the remaining one.
All right. So how are you and the aspects getting along?
So, as someone who is concerned with the safety, I am obviously afraid of radical acceptance. Because there is that fear that at some point, someone is going to infiltrate and fuck us all over.
Okay. And do you by any chance have a character yet ready? Okay. It's fair. It's gonna come back around.
All right, that leaves me.
Yeah, if you've got yours, please.
Yeah, so I have, hey, that worked. I have Oracle.
All right, let me make this nice and big real quick for the stream. There we go.
It says, you know what's coming for us, and we believe you. At least most of us do.
Oh, boy.
People talk to you about predictions. So I identify with 2 of the aspects, which I'm deciding are it takes a village and radical acceptance. For the aspect that will be our rune, I think it's actually going to be whatever it takes, which is interesting because a lot of the other characters have sort of been formed around being suspicious of radical acceptance instead. So I think that's interesting.
Oh, I love
and
it.
because of that, my character is a trans woman named Cassandra, after the Greek
good.
mythical figure who was a prophet that nobody believed. So I think that that's a
That's very good.
interesting character.
And we find out if I noticed what Cassandra's. Yes, Andra. I hope that's right. And you said trans woman, so she, her pronouns?
She, her, yeah.
All right. Boom. Cassandra. Very good. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. All right. I guess that just leaves me. I suppose I ought to pick one of these. Oh, jeez. Yeah, they gave me artist, mediator, and jester, and it feels like, you know, like maybe I just go super obvious. And it's like, am I really role-playing if I play a jester?
Grab new cards then.
No. I'm down for this. I'm down for this. Because you know what? We've got some intense motherfuckers around in here. Somebody needs to tell a dang joke. So that's what I'm going to do.
Valid.
I'm going to live my truth. So, Jester, we need you. We need you to help us laugh through the dark times. People talk to you when they need cheering up. You identify with 2 of the aspects. You think one of our aspects is ridiculous. Huh. I would say that I definitely identify with the idea that it takes a village. Like, we kind of have to pull together. And I definitely identify with, like, radical acceptance. It's like, yeah, of course we got to get people in here. But whatever it takes, y'all, you're going to get us killed. Like, you're just going to get us killed. You're just going to piss them off. Like, this is all a terrible, terrible idea. Yeah, I'm just going to shove that over here. Whoop, down here for the moment. So make a discard pile in a second because Roll20 is weird. And I need to think for a second about my character there. I've got a super obvious idea, but I want to wait a minute. So yeah, Jack, Nerdy, or Michi, have any of you kind of settled into who you are exactly tonight?
Yeah, I got something.
Oh yeah, Jack, hit me. Lay it on me.
I think I'm gonna go as their name is BBS.
Okay.
Or beg, borrow, and steal.
Oh my god, that's so good. That's so good.
That is really good.
So I could kiss you.
They are they're non-binary, and they have been, I would say, probably around Stonewall for quite a while. They're probably in their mid-30s, so like an elder.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, oh. Sorry, too real.
I know, right? And so, yeah, they came early on, I guess, from the hegemony, and yeah. Oh, you know what? I think actually, one of the things that they do, being a scrounger, is they're good at passing.
Oh wow. Okay.
That's how they're able to get away with a lot of the shit they do.
Okay. Okay. Cool. Big Bros. That's really good. I love that name. What to do? Yeah. Nerdy, Michi, do either of you? As I realized that people have been talking in the Zoom chat, and I did not notice. I mean, I like that first one a lot, but yeah, that second one is now in theme for sure.
That's the problem. No, I know.
You could just you could mash both names together. I mean, there's no reason not to.
Jedimus.
Jedimus, no.
Well, no, I mean, like a first and a last name kind of situation. Look, one of our characters is called Beg, Borrow, Steal, for Christ's sake. So, like,
you know what?
What you got?
It works. I'm gonna go with trans woman, she, her pronouns.
Okay.
And her name is Artemis Jet.
That's very good.
All right.
Okay, let me get in there. OBS is such a great program, and it's so good.
Now I feel like I should go buy Odysseus. Man.
Don't you dare change your name. It's perfect.
I know it is perfect.
You're not allowed. I have no power here, but I forbid it. How about you, Michi? You got
How ridiculous do I want to go? Is the question.
Very.
As your heart like leads you. That is what I would recommend.
The name that pops into my brain is Dot Matrix.
Okay. I'm not gonna
Go for it.
Sure. How does dot matrix identify?
They're non-binary.
Okay. Dot.
Yeah, they take a lot of like 80s futuristic aesthetic stuff going on.
Hell yeah, they do.
Hell
Does
yeah.
Oh yeah, they do. Try and center some of
I'm
this.
realizing now how many characters I make that wear a leather jacket.
It's okay to have a brand. Yeah.
What can you say? A leather jacket is a great thing to give a shot to.
I mean, Nerdy's already given me shit for like every time we have a one shot, I've got somebody with a giant sword. So like, it's only fair.
Leather jacket, punch way out of problems. Check.
Basically. Wow. I guess I should probably pick a name and a gender identity for my character here, huh? Is it just Jesse? Is it just Jesse the Jester?
Oh my god, yes.
Is it just Jesse? Yeah. I think it's just Jesse because I am too distracted trying to run everything. Oh wait, it's Jess E. There we go.
Yep.
What's the E stand for? We may never know. I'm gonna take a quick look at our breakdown here. Okay, I'm gonna go with. He's just a good old.
The E stands for Jessabeth.
Jess. The E stands for that's enough, Jess. Shut the hell up. And he's just a very nice, very well mannered, and definitely not a pain in the ass. Little cis gay guy. He's just he just wants people to be happy. Why does everybody have to be so angry all the time? It's just so much anger. Okay, so there we go. We got our. I'm just gonna shove these down here because it might be helpful to remember what the hell we all kind of are. And I didn't think about the fact that I probably should have a place for writing all that, but who cares? So, let's see if I can get all of the cards in people's hands. Haha, I can. And then I can hide that deck of cards. Awesome. So, we've got characters. We've got an isolation. Let's play a turn of this game, y'all. So what I'm going to do is deal 3 cards to all players. Boom. All right, you should now have 3 fresh and beautiful new cards in your hand, which I'm now going to take a quick look at mine. Yeah, it looks like it worked correctly. That's awesome. Okay, so what we're going to be doing every turn, and we'll start with me so I can go by way of example, is we're going to be playing one of these cards from our hand, and then attaching it to so I look over here because I've written on my whiteboard the turn structure. We're going to be attaching it to one of the aspects of our community, and then we're going to create a word for that. So, for example, I have, let's just play this. I have term of endearment. So, here we go. An affectionate name to call someone in the isolation. Using this word is deeply meaningful, and we remember the first time we say it. So, I feel like a term of endearment is something that we would definitely attach to It Takes a Village, because like once you're in and once you're part of us, like there's some kind of special word that we use to sort of like hello comrade, that kind of thing. So since it's my turn, I will be the final arbiter as to what what word we go with is, but this is an open discussion to the table of like if anybody has any good ideas to throw out for like what would be a good term of endearment that relates to It Takes a Village. Please make yourself known. While I sit here and scratch my chin and think for a second. Take this drink of water to fill time.
So the first thing that popped into my head, and this is mostly just because of the Discord, but tomato is what popped into my head right away.
No lie, I was wondering how long it was going to take us to get there. I did not think it was going to be the first fucking word. Although I was worried that it was going to be our friggin' symbol, which is why I didn't say it. I was just like, no, I can't. I can't let the tomato be our damn symbol. I know I'm partially at fault for the whole stupid fucking tomato thing, but at the same time,
we love the tomato.
I love the tomato too. All hail the tomato. Well, hang on. Okay, let's think about this for a second here. Does tomato make sense? Because a tomato is something you grow. It's also something you throw at your enemies.
But it's something that nourishes you.
It
Gives
does.
you life.
Oh man, is it tomato?
I'm on team tomato.
Let's see. Is there anything else I can think of from It Takes a Village? Oh. I hate that I have tomato stuck in my brain. But I also kind of love it.
Don't think about the tomato in the room.
Jack, you're such a tomato.
Oh.
See, now it's there.
Oh, yeah, okay. Unless anybody can save us from this nightmare, then I think it might just be tomato is our... Let's make this as extremely extra and welcome to the party as we possibly can. Sure. So we have a term of endearment, so I'm just gonna bring this down here. I'm going to write our word, tomato. Old word is just a term of endearment. Great, this game is already completely off the rails. It took 13 seconds to do. Here's the real question. How do I just get rid of you? Oh, not like that. Not like that. Can I just... I'm just gonna delete you. There. I don't need to keep you around. I know. I'm breaking all the rules of time and space and destroying matter. All right. So we made a connection. We built the word. Now we have to have a conversation involving this word. So basically, I'm going to pick either all of us or a subset of us to have a short in-character conversation that shows like how we use that word and what that word means to us. So I think to start with, like, well, it's her fault, so I have to pull Artemis into this for sure. And I'm really into the idea of you, and I'm trying to think, who else would be a good, because we've got Scrounger, Protector, Oracle, Zealot. Oh yeah, I think you and Cassandra and Beg, Borrow, Steal should definitely have a conversation where you use the word, oh shit, I deleted that card, and it totally has a prompt at the bottom of it. Shit.
Well.
Yep. That's awesome. So I didn't read the prompt at the bottom, which is supposed to lead us into what the hell we do here.
So
Can I Control Z to get that back by any chance? Can I undo? Oh,
If
thank
you
Christ.
oh, hey.
Thank Christ I can undo it. Oh, roll 20, I take back everything I've ever said about you. Okay, so your prompt for this conversation is a tender moment shared in secret. So whenever y'all feel ready, and you feel free to like do, if you need to do some scene setting or just like some set dressing, like to describe where you guys are when you have this conversation, please feel free. And yeah, find a way to use tomato as a term of endearment among the three of you. This is my terrible gift to you.
you know, since maybe one or a couple of us are about to leave on a raid.
Sure.
Maybe
All
that's
right, yeah.
Okay, so yeah, so if one or more is about to leave on a raid, it makes sense that they would talk to Cassandra to ask how it's going to go, given that she's in the Oracle role.
For sure.
I just read up on the history of the tomato in the Discord server, so I feel caught up now. I had missed the discourse. So
No regrets. I have
I'm
no
glad
regrets.
you could catch up on it.
Nope,
yeah.
don't you-
Jesus.
Get the hell out of my stream. Get out of here. You're done. Get your ass back in here, Jack. Unexiled. Get back in here. All right. So yeah. So you guys are about to go out on a, or someone's about to go out on some kind of raid or something, and on the eve of that, like some kind of tender moment was shared in secret, relating around the three of you. So like, what's that look like? I know I kind of put folks on the spot here, but.
Would you like some emotional vulnerability? I got you some emotional vulnerability.
It is, yeah. It's a big one to start with too, which is interesting. It's like
Yeah.
immediately like
It is a little meaty, which again, it's
which I'm fine with. I just think.
Feel free to interpret widely as much as you need.
Like a beefsteak tomato?
It's 2, Jack. It's 2.
Look, I'm going to deflect with humor. That's how I work with me and my tomatoes.
Which is pretty good. But yeah, we need a scene, so...
Actually, I think that kind of got it there. You know, I mean...
Well, yeah, but I'm trying to get to the actual gameplay part, man. Come on.
No,
So, like...
No, that actually clicked something for me, is what I'm saying.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
You know, we're going to be heading out on a raid. There's a lot of medicine that we really need right now. And I think one of the things that we can do, one of the best things that we can do for the vine is, you know, just what do we need to know?
What I mean, what is there to know? We need the medicine. We go take it.
I guess Cassandra would. She would have like a spread of tarot cards before her, right? And she would sort of pick one up and turn it over, and she would just hold it up silently, and it would be a card that represented something that was dangerous but possibly worthwhile. And she doesn't really say anything. She just sort of holds up the card.
So it's a Thursday. Okay.
Again, the vine needs this. We take it. I feel like it's simple.
Yeah, we don't got a choice. It's that or, you know. The tomatoes we care about wilt and die. I'm not having it.
I won't either.
All right, I think we can definitely cut there. I think that's pretty good. It's a very grim note to start on, and I'm way into it.
Should I discard a card for a variant wherein we codify the vine into part of our language per the rules of dialect?
So
the thing we're using now.
So yes, so one of the things I hadn't gotten to yet was, and I'm just gonna shove this over here as our discard pile, is that in dialect at any time, and the book is very specific that it's at any time, you can discard a card from your hand and draw a card from the next age in order to introduce a variant on a currently active language item. So yeah, sure.
That would be great.
Yeah, you are more than welcome to discard. Just throw your discard card out somewhere, and
I'm getting rid of friend because it's so similar to term of endearment.
That's fair. I feel like that's pretty fair. Let's shrink that over there.
Especially not a queer group because we don't make friends by half measure.
So what is a vine then, as opposed to a tomato? Is it like a group of?
Yeah, the vine is like the word for the entire community. It seems like is how we've started using it. If tomato is any individual person that is part of our community that we care about, then I think the vine is the community as a whole.
That's pretty cool. All right, and then.
And this has double uses, like because a vine, you know, it connects all the way up and down. So following that analogy, and also it gives us a chance to, you know, be meme lords and say, do it for the vine.
Yeah. All right, so moving along, Michi, it is now your turn to play one of the cards from your hand and do what I did. Attach that sucker to one of our aspects.
All right, I got the word work.
Okay, so I'm gonna make that nice and big. Yoop.
Isolation is no stranger to work and toil, our daily grind and duty. It's how we refer to that which must be done. I feel like that's going to connect to whatever it takes.
Sure. I mean, and did you have any thoughts in mind as to what our word for that word for work might be?
I hadn't got that far, no.
No, that's fair. I mean, to borrow from our backdrop, like the first thing that comes to my mind is like hustle.
Yeah.
Like, you know, it's like we gotta hustle hard tonight, or the harvest isn't gonna come in, or like.
Hey,
You
so
know,
we're just
something
gonna
like
carry like a farming theme. I kind of like that actually.
Yeah, I mean.
Yeah.
But certainly I'm welcome to if anybody else has any other ideas for what work could mean.
I'm liking hustles.
Yeah,
Hustle's good.
hustle is good.
But seems like you got
No,
a train of thought going.
I do, but like I don't know. It seems more silly, and I like the hustle. How hustle works with
Well,
this thing.
But throw it out there. We'll see how the table feels it. Like, what are you thinking?
Well, I was gonna say drop. Like
Drop.
we gotta drop it. You know, like to get in terms of getting something said, we say we gotta drop it instead.
Drop. Yeah, we've been dropping real hard recently. Or like, yeah, I've been out dropping all night or something. You know, like I can't.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of what I was thinking about, but I do like how hustle works.
Yeah. Well, ultimately, Michi, it is your decision which word we go with. I will say so. We are here to facilitate.
I think I'm gonna go with hustle.
Yeah. Okay. So yes. So now we have the word hustle, and that was attached to whatever it takes, as I recall.
Yeah.
I'm so glad that whenever a text box comes out, it's going to say tomato. One S in hustle.
Oh, jeez, Louise. Okay, so here's the really funny part. I don't know how to spell.
I mean, it doesn't have to have one S. It's a new word.
It's true, but so yeah. So now we get to have a conversation. So, Michi, who all of us, from 2 to 5, how many of us are going to now have a conversation that includes the word hustle to show how we use it?
I kind of want to do everyone because, like, we all have different things we do to work in the
Sure.
in the vine.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. All right. So let's see. So it's all of us somewhere. What could we all be doing that's
Also really really lends itself to a whole group conversation discussing, like, okay, what kind of work are we doing right now?
Sure. So maybe I mean, maybe this is one of like our big forum-y meeting things that we have. Like whenever we've got something major we've got to discuss in the community, we kind of like gather everybody in. So maybe it's the 5 of us are like at that or something. And I don't know. I just imagine like maybe Jess comes in and it's just like let's see. I'm trying to think who would I think works too damn hard. Oh, definitely Artemis. Definitely our zealot. So, yeah, like Jess comes in and it's just like, why are we always having so many meetings? Like y'all hustle all the time. Like you need to learn how to like rest, because like the rest of the vine, they can't keep up with all this stuff, but y'all just hustle nonstop. Like when y'all ever take a break?
Hegemony's not going to take a break.
I'm sorry, what?
The hegemony's not going to take a break.
Yeah, but
That's true. Without the hustle, we don't have the food. Without the hustle, we don't have that crate of vodka we found. Without that,
Possibly not safe.
yo,
Exactly.
my tomato, you found some vodka though?
You know?
come grab a glass.
I will come grab a glass. Just as long as this ain't gonna get in the way of it. I mean, okay, so maybe there's a place for hustle around here, but there's also, some time to relax, some time to kick back.
Cassandra doesn't say anything, but she has like a deck of tarot cards right in her pocket, and she just takes the top one off and turns around and shows everybody, and it's just a symbol meaning balance.
Nah, this is gonna fuck up my balance real bad. Like, believe me, you my tomato and everything, but nah.
See? Hustle, relax.
Whatever, BBS. Just don't nobody hurt themselves. That's all I'm saying. And I think we can call that a scene there. I think. Hot damn. All right. Oh, I also forgot that. After you play a card, you're supposed to draw one from the upcoming age. So I'm gonna. Come here, you. Come to me. Nope, that didn't work. That didn't work either. Roll 20, we need to talk. We need to really super talk. Like, I can't.
I was able to get a card earlier when I discarded one, so I don't know how you did that there, but it worked.
Yeah, you know what? Just recall the one on the table.
It looks like you hover over it and click draw, or do you have to drag?
Click to draw, drag to deal.
Draw, drag to deal. Okay, so you have to drag it.
I'm just gonna click the deal button. I'm gonna deal one card to myself. There. And then deal one card to... Oh. Looks like Michi already has their card. Alright, perfect. Alright, next up in the turn order, Capjack. You know what it is.
Alright. Let's
Yes!
Let's be rude.
Hell yeah. Let's say some naughty words.
Rude. Ooh.
So. Said in fury or frustration.
Torn between whatever it takes and radical acceptance. I'm gonna go with
because
oh man,
I could see it almost being radical acceptance because it's like it's an expletive we invented because we don't want to like let's say use certain old crappy slurs. So we want to step around those, so we invented something new. Cool. So what do we say when we're angry? Let's see.
I mean, like the first thing that comes to mind is like you're being a hedge.
Okay. That's pretty hedgy of you, bro.
I
also like puppet.
Oh, I kind of like.
Sorry, were you saying something nerdy?
A total hedge lord.
I said I like puppet.
Puppet. Okay.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Very good pun, by the way.
Thank you.
I deeply appreciated it. Yeah. Let's see. What else? Anything else?
I kind of like it because you can use it for puns all over the place.
It's true. Somebody in the chat suggests weeds. Ain't nothing wrong with weed. I don't know what you're talking about.
I mean,
weed is like my best tomato, honestly.
I do like the chat has been very good about suggesting things that continue to be on brand for the tomato.
Oh hell yeah!
So I see people saying like farming as a thing for working, and weeds as a thing for expletive. It's all good. I like that.
Stop being such an aphid. That's actually not half bad either.
I did think hedge works really well because we could also say things like maybe we need to trim the hedge, meaning like you need to be
you need to check your shit. We gotta trim that hedge.
Maybe trim your fucking hedge, bro.
Yeah, that's not that bad actually. But ultimately, it's your call, Jack.
I'm going with hedge.
Okay. We're going with hedge. That's related to radical acceptance.
How are you spelling it?
HEDGE.
Yeah, I mean that's how I wrote it down, but
because
like
hegemony is HEGE.
right, which we could change it to that, like no problem.
Yeah, sure, why not?
Hedge, and not hege. Expletive. All right. And then yeah, you need to pick some of us to have a conversation about a moment we'll later regret.
I'm gonna pick. Let's see. Michi and Nerdy.
Oh, Lord.
Okay.
This is a moment that at some point one or both of you is going to regret down the road. So this is a great time to make bad accusations and just generally be mean to each other.
I got this. I'm the zealot. I'll start this off with perhaps you should be more concerned about doing everything it takes and being less of a hedge.
Hold up. What am I not doing exactly? I'm the one out here protecting these people when the fucking hedges come by and try to raid us. What are you doing?
I'm out there fighting them, not just waiting for them to come to us. You have to be ready to take certain measures.
Yeah, and if I go out there and fight them with you, I'm not here protecting these people. Neither of us is better than the other in this.
Just make sure you're keeping the vine in mind.
I'm not going to let this vine die.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think that scene right there, just
Yeah.
oof. Ah. Hedge is getting tense up in here.
Different approaches are important.
All right.
A lot of powerful personalities in one place. What happens?
Yeah. Okay. That was. So I suddenly realized that was Jack that just went. So we're on to.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Cassandra, aka Connor, it is your turn.
Cool. I have a card that is special occasion.
Ooh.
So I'll let you make it big.
Yeah, let me make that nice and big for people. There you go.
It says celebrated event. It's either particular to the isolation or we have a unique way of recognizing it. I think it's related to radical acceptance, and in my mind, it's sort of it's a ceremony that's part of joining Stonewall, or joining the vine, really, the vine at Stonewall. And it is sort of it mirrors-ish a coming out thing, but it's more like sort of, it functions more as like a self-introduction, and like for a lot of people, it'll be like the first time that they get to really talk about who they are, and sort of in that true central way. So
For sure.
I think that's where it's coming from. I have no idea what the word should be.
If I might suggest
Chat
something.
went with what I did.
I
I'm
was
wondering if-
as well. But whoever wants to.
Toss out thoughts, yeah.
I mean, I will say, like, the first thing that popped into my mind, given that we're like an insular community and we're welcoming people into it, rather than coming out, this would be somebody's coming in.
Ooh.
But it looks like the chat's recommending Harvest,
Like harvest. Yeah.
which
that's
is
On that-
very
on that-
intense.
what I was thinking of.
And I thought, because they recommended that, I thought of the farming theme. Used to party on solstices, call it a solstice. I also had my first idea when special occasion came up was just calling it a riot.
Yes.
I like riot. I also
Like, we don't have parties, we have riots.
right. I think a riot is a good term for a general party, and maybe that should be like a variant that we introduce after this.
Maybe.
Okay.
But I also think that like this specific introduction should be something like somebody's blossoming. I don't know. Is that a still farming related?
It is. We got onto a wonderfully weird theme here.
Yeah.
I don't hate blossoming.
I don't hate it either.
I think blossoming is the
Blooming.
specific blooming.
blooming.
Blossoming.
Yeah,
Blooming.
I like that even more.
Blooming is better. A blooming ceremony is sort of the So blooming is the coming out or coming in ceremony.
Yeah.
And then maybe somebody wants to discard a card and toss in riot. Who was the first person to say riot? Oh, it was Nerdy. So
yeah,
you should totally get.
I will
to find that one.
discard a card for that.
Real quick, was that under radical acceptance? Was it this
Radical
attached to?
acceptance? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And this was. Our word for this was. Bloom. Bloom or blooming?
I think this ceremony is called a blooming.
Okay. Call it. There we go. We'll go with blooming, and then if it becomes bloomed or blooming or bloom, whatever we need for it. Cool. And then our conversation prompt for this is the time has come. So. Excuse me. Time has come.
So let's see who should be involved. I don't think that. Sorry, I'm trying to manage all my windows. I don't think that. I'm trying to think of who hasn't really been in a scene. Everybody's been in a scene at this point, so like
To some degree, yeah.
it makes sense for this one. Cassandra will probably be in it somewhere. I guess really everyone's involved, right? I mean, it's a big communal ceremony.
Sure.
Everyone's
Yeah.
involved. I don't know that the conversation necessarily includes everyone, but I'll say that. No, I'll say that everyone's involved for the. And what is the prompt says? This time has come.
The time has come.
So we're welcoming somebody new in the community, or can this be a flashback? Does somebody want this to be their character's introduction to the community?
This can totally be a flashback if somebody would like to.
Ooh.
Who's feeling ready to be on the spot?
Don't all volunteer at once. But I mean, sure, I'll do it. I'll do anything. I don't care. I'm already in this in over my head, so why not?
Mm-hmm. Okay, so yeah, so the scene starts. I guess everyone's sort of gathered around, right, for the blooming. Probably Cassandra's there, and she has, as usual, right, the spread laid out, and she's got. Sort of as part of this ceremony, she sort of flips over a card and shows it to everyone, and it always happens to, we're pretty sure it's not a rigged thing. It just happens to always sort of say good fortune when we welcome somebody into the community. And so that's sort of how it starts, is she turns over this card. And then I don't know what happens from there.
Okay. This is a little weird for me because I don't know. It makes it harder for me to actually, since I'm just being welcomed to the community, it makes it a little harder for me to be using the lingo already, but...
I mean, I kind of figure that the community is, there's kind of like a mentorship program where you're learning the process.
Okay,
yeah,
that works.
You have your blossoming.
That works for me.
I like that a lot.
Or wait, was it blossoming or blooming? Because I wrote down blooming.
Blooming. Yeah, well, what have I been saying? I think I've said both bloom and blossoming.
Shit.
Blossoming is what we said.
Right? Yeah, I like blossoming.
Okay,
I'll
my
do
bad.
blossoming.
I wrote down the wrong thing.
We're not onions. Gosh.
Yeah, but we are. Yeah, but apparently we are tomatoes, which, I mean, okay. That's cool. I mean, like, hey, no, like, I'm just super glad to be out in, like, I mean, I've never experienced nothing like this before. Like, y'all are. Blossoming's a good word for it, It's just like I feel like for once, for the only time, I can actually like. I'm not constantly, what was it, hustling to try and prove everybody that, like, yo, I'm into girls. I'm like, that ain't happening. Nuh-uh, not me.
Well, hell yeah! Welcome. It's good to have you. Oh my god.
Thank you. Yeah. Wow. So
Yeah. So I had an
That's-
idea.
Yeah, welcome.
Have you thought about which branch you're going to be joining?
I mean, there's branches, cause like I know there's like floors. I figured I'd get on one of those, but like I don't gotta like live outside or nothing, right? Cause you know.
Oh, like a
teasing.
branch. It's what you do around here.
Oh. I mean, yeah, the hustle and thing. Yeah, nah. I mean, you know, I just figured maybe I'd lay low for a little while if that's okay, cause like, it's real scary out there, and I think some of those guys tried to kill me. So like, I figured I just you know, those hedges. I think I heard someone call them. Really, they're not tomatoes. I know that much. But I feel really safe here in the vine. So with y'all. So yeah.
Good. Well, Dot, why don't you grab that vodka and let's turn this blossoming into a riot.
Ah!
Oh, hell yeah.
Beautiful.
That's my tomato right over there. I know that much. I figured that much out. I think that's a perfect place to cut that scene. That's so good. I love this vodka through line. Let me go ahead and make a variant of blossoming to just be riot.
Makes
Just
a great
party.
sanitizer and, alcohol.
It's kind of off of you.
Yeah, and I'm gonna discard this sadness card.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to discard something for branch if that's cool.
Sounds good.
Oh, we have so many words, y'all.
That's
Okay,
not
so
bad.
after that, do I draw a new card?
Yeah, you would draw one from age 2. In fact, let me just go ahead and hide the age 1 deck because we don't need it anymore.
Okay.
So there you go. Make that easier for folks.
And I'm going to...
3 rounds with 5 people. By default, we were going to have 15 words. I suspect we're going to end up with so many more at this rate. This is amazing. All right. Right. And I needed to make another word for, what was it, branch?
Yeah.
Then I'll need to draw up.
Which was a variant of, I guess, tomato.
No. It's
A variant
it's
of
part of
hustle.
whatever it takes.
Hustle.
Yeah, it's a
Oh,
variant
it's a
on-
variant of hustle. Okay, so it's like
it's
your
like
line
what
of work.
region you work in.
Yeah, so there's hustle, there's
Like
branch.
Cassandra and Artemis and BVS are both in like the scavenging branch.
Right. Gotcha. Okay. Okay, and then
I'm gonna get rid of. Oh man, those are both really good ones. But oh man, I'll get
Would
rid
it-
of
would it-
reading.
okay, I was gonna say, like, would it feel better if I got rid of a word? Because I've got a word I could totally discard if you want to hang on to greeting.
Yeah, because I have greeting and happiness. So like,
It's a
well, no, let's
pretty
get rid of
good-
greeting actually, because we kind of have tomato now.
Okay. So we're shoving greeting over here, and then get you a card out of that deck. Deal 1 card to Capjack. Boom. Awesome. Okay. Finally we are around to nerdy. So yeah, play us a card, attach it to something. This community is so weird.
It is. I'm still trying to decide.
Mhm.
But I think you know what, I'm gonna go with this one. I'll go with this one.
Wonderful. Okay. Vision of hope, milk and honey, all that is good. May we fill our days with it.
And we'll touch that to It Takes a Village.
Okay. Just gonna go ahead and put a thing down here to remind myself. So I don't forget again. So, what's wonderful to us? What do we see as wonderful? What's goodness? What's ideally something that isn't like tomato juice?
Right. I wonder if it can be a thing that can be related to the spirituality of our community. So if it's like
Ooh.
a symbol that can come up in the tarot deck that is sort of like the ideal, like the symbol of like something being bountiful or whatever. So like with the blossoming ceremony, I said that Cassandra has a card that she turns over that shows everyone that sort of good tidings are ahead. But I have no idea what's on that card, and I don't know if that could be a thing that means wonderful for us.
A good turn, referencing the cards.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Solid draw.
Let's see. I'm trying to think. What do gay people like?
Vodka.
Well, apparently.
Leather.
Yeah. Like I'm sitting because like again, I'm kind of going for the obvious thing here. I'm thinking of like, what if like we describe something as being like so glitter? Like it's like one of these days we're gonna be out of here. Come on.
No.
One of these we're gonna get our break. It's gonna be so glitter. Just let me tell you. I don't know.
Maybe improve on that. Maybe go towards maybe sparkle instead of glitter.
Sparkle's not bad.
Sunshine. Sorry.
Yeah, what else? Jeez.
I do in fact like pie. It's true. What in the hell do you have?
My bag of glitter.
I accept no responsibility for whatever's about to happen on the other side of that camera. It's not my fault.
I am a glitter snob. It is biodegradable and body safe, and it's too expensive to waste throwing it to someone.
Good call. Cause yeah, like what do we hope for? Like at the end of the day, we're looking for like having.
When you put it like that, harvest does work. We're always hoping for a good harvest.
Yeah. Like a harvest or like a bounty or like harvest isn't bad.
If there's a symbol of everything that we're hoping for to achieve as a community, what is it? Is that like a path to go down?
Yeah, no, I think that's a really good idea. It's like it's kind of like what's the sort of long-term vision for us, and like I mean, think about where we are. We're a bunch of homeless people stuck in a parking garage. Like getting our ticket out of the situation is really what we're like trying to hope for. Some kind of road to a better place, or like I don't know if we have like a promised land. Like we've thought like maybe like I don't know, maybe out there somewhere there's more people like us, and like there's not a bunch of shitty fascists around. Yeah, so like unfortunately I'm drawing a total blank at the moment, which is not helpful for a game about words. But we can
It's a
certainly,
hard one.
It is kind of rough. We can certainly stick with our plant theme. I mean, ultimately, Nerdy, you are the arbiter of what enters our lexicon.
I'm like going on the what is our end goal. I think just acceptance in general. So that's something you could play on.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of like other words like around that. As 5 ears simultaneously start smoking on stream, and we're all like thinking really hard about this.
I think we're gonna go with good draw. Going back to the
Perfect.
the sticking with the dart, going with
Good draw.
someone.
Okay, cool. Good draw. I'm gonna have to move some stuff around. Or wait, yeah, it was under It Takes a Village, right? Did I put that in the right place?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Oh, okay. And then our conversation prompt is a shared moment of wonder. So, who's sharing a moment of wonder about something?
Let's see. Let's make it Jesse and BBS.
Okay. All right, what do we have in a shared moment of wonder on? Maybe, got some hot tomatoes in the chat. I love it. I for some reason I imagine that we're like sitting up like on top of the very top level of the parking garage, and like maybe because like we're in a city, but we're on the edges of it, and everything beyond it, like there's no electricity, there's no lights. So despite being in this kind of urban hellscape, like there's a surprising amount of like the stars come through at night.
I was just going to ask if you could see the stars.
I think a little bit, like more than you definitely would be able to normally in a city. I think it's like there's still some light pollution coming from the greater city kind of behind us. Essentially, we'd be looking off in the other direction. We're looking kind of out into the wildlands, and
so the stars are something the hedge hasn't even seen in years, potentially. Right.
Potentially, yeah. I mean, we could be super cheesy about it and just be like, we're sitting out there and then like we see a shooting star.
I like it. Let's run with it.
Right. Yeah. So yeah, we're just sitting up there. It's like, oh yo, Jake, look.
No way.
See now that is definitely a good draw. Like I cannot. We've been hustling so hard lately, but like I feel like hedge, I don't know how I feel, but like I see stuff like that, and it just makes me feel like there's a chance for us out there. Like maybe we could have the kind of good draw that we're really looking for. Like this all isn't just a bunch of pointless hedging nonsense,
Yeah, seriously. I mean, you never used to have a chance to see something like that. And just, yeah, the hustle's hard. Yeah, the vine, it grows, it withers, it grows again, and it's hard to watch. But, I gotta believe that we're gonna get a good draw at the end of it.
Yeah, like.
Because if not, I mean, what are we doing?
I mean, each other. We're definitely doing that, but
Really?
Scene. Oh my gosh, that was so great. Okay, so that gets us to the end of age 1. We have built up quite the vocabulary. We got 2 more ages to go. All right, so at the end of an age, this is when we start on down one of our pathways. And I think we'll do that, and then we'll establish which pathway we're going down, and then we'll go to break, and then we come back from break. We'll hit up age 2 and go on to age 3, which hopefully we should have enough time to do. Okay. Entering age 2. An event to foreshadow the end of the isolation. It finds its way into all conversation and is impossible to ignore. So the 2 pathways that I've kind of got here for our ultimately doomed gathering of tomato lovers. The leftward one, it's kind of like a it's like they're going to be edging us out of this place through, let's call it active neglect. Whereas the right pattern, or the red path, that one's a bit more of a proactive, like, oh god, the cops are getting involved, and it's not pretty. If it would be easier for folks, I could just read the first entry from both of those, or if anybody has any thoughts or preferences with regards to that.
I've looked at them ahead of time, and I really like especially with the way our game has been kind of going. I think that the left black path gives us opportunity to like think about the kinds of art we make.
Sure.
And I feel like that's a really interesting thing to go down. I don't know, because two of the three of our aspects are not as much about like active defense and violence. It seems like, and responding to violence necessarily.
Sure.
It seems like maybe that's an easier path to develop with the things we're doing. Then again, that could also be a case for going down the red path to develop something we haven't really looked at yet. So I'm open to either, but that's where my head's at.
Certainly. Anybody else have any thoughts? Again, if you need me to, I can read a little bit of them, if that'll help.
I like that, but I'm not against going the other path because Artemis definitely would be the one instigating it in terms of the whatever it takes mentality of going out there and bringing the fight to them.
True.
For sure. Jack or Michi, you have any thoughts? Putting everybody on the spot tonight.
Yeah.
For whatever it's worth, having looked at them again, I am actually leaning now more towards the red path also. So I think there's a lot that we can do with that still. So especially with Artemis's character.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, and Dot, honestly, like one's proactive and one's reactive, but both are kind of dealing with it in the same direction.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, we can get
ultimately like the whatever it takes is going to end poorly.
Yeah, this is true. We know that's
there's no happy ending, unfortunately. Like, spoiler alert, folks, the community does fall apart in some capacity because that's what dialect is. So, okay, then yeah, I'll go ahead and read the opening prompt for the red path on age 2 here. So, somebody got bashed. It might not have been so bad if the cops hadn't gotten involved, but now the whole community's under a community watch order. What must we hide from prying eyes? And while we think on that, we're going to go to break real quick. So, because it's about the halfway point here. So, folks, stick around. Somewhere 5 to 10 minutes. We'll be right back. Go get up, stretch, go pee, drink water. Don't switch those two around. We will see you.
Or do. Who are we to judge? Well, don't go water, because that's bad.
We'll see y'all in just a bit. we're back. At least I hope we're back. We should. Thank you, Nerdy. Now that I'm completely and utterly, totally brain fried, where was I? With all my wonderful tomatoes. All right. Okay. So, when we last list our heroes, we just read our act or age 2 opening prompt, and we had a little question at the end of it, which was, what must we hide from prying eyes? Now that there's friggin' cops everywhere, and they're kind of keeping a much closer eye on us. Like, what are we hiding? I mean, ourselves to a point, certainly, but, you know, that parking garage, it doesn't exactly move, but, like, maybe we're getting a little more careful, a little more picky-choosy about who we do and don't let in to the community? Or... because it was... Oh. Oh no. What? Okay, with any luck. Friends, say things.
Survey says.
Am I here?
Hello.
Wait,
I
wait
heard
for the
myself
chat
on the
to-
stream, so I'm
Is
good.
it us
Okay.
you're querying for?
Hello.
Sorry about that, folks. It's OBS, it's a hell of a program. Okay, now that I've got us fixed. Yes, so, now that we're going into a new age, one of the things we do is, as I look at my notes, we evolve one of our aspects. And so 2 of our aspects we've currently got will carry over with us, just as they are, into age 2. But one of them is going to change a little bit. So, as informed by, like, this new situation that we find ourselves in. Because, wait, what's all these cops hanging around? Why is everybody suddenly so interested in what we're doing? So what do we think? What do we think changes here? Is it... Are we still the sorts of people that will do whatever it takes? Or do we still think that... do we maybe step away from it takes a village to, like, more of a individualized, like, maybe we're better off if we're separate? Or do we get really suspicious and stop being so radically accepting of people?
I mean, I'd say I would at least vote for radical acceptance on this, getting a little more suspicious with all the cops hanging around.
Sure.
Yeah. I think it makes sense for
Yeah.
us to start being suspicious of infiltration. And I think it's good for the story as much as it sucks for us as players.
Yeah, seriously.
Yes, player hurts. Dot is like, yeah, no, we got to be more.
We gotta protect the vine. Can't let
Okay.
it wither.
So it takes a village comes over, and whatever it takes comes over. But radical acceptance is going to stay back there in age 1 because that's not who we are anymore. Now we're something different. So if we're not all about radical acceptance, what are we about instead? Is it like we watch our own, or like
Strict vetting.
strict vetting? I like that. Yeah. Anything else?
Would this maybe be a point to where we really are introducing and upping that sort of intense vetting system where people can get kicked out for things that other people do, right? Because that was something we talked about
Oh,
originally. I
yeah.
wonder if it makes sense to really start like inserting that into the conflict here.
Yeah.
Maybe there are characters, maybe not even among us, but like other people in the community who just like have vouched for folks they weren't entirely sure about and now are getting kicked out for something they didn't actually do just because somebody else was.
Because we've got such a scorched earth policy on who we can and can't trust.
Yeah. And they were trying to be radically accepting and it didn't work out.
Yeah, so...
If you're blighting the vine, we got to cut out the blight.
Yeah, basically. All right, so do we like, what was it? Close vetting was what it was? Do we like that, or are we looking for something a little more or differenter? I don't have the word there, turns to me.
Call it mafia rules.
Or maybe like, or maybe it's something like, is it trust is earned? Maybe.
Maybe. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's go with fuck radical acceptance. Now, trust is earned. All right. Like, listen, it's great that you're gay and all, but like, prove it. Essentially, which, woof, boy.
We're getting gatekeepy.
Ouch.
Yeah, let's keep them gates. Okay, now that things suck, let's get into it. All right, so, oh, there is one other thing you can do at the end of an age, and it's discard a card and draw a new one from the next age up if you want to. I'm actually gonna do that because one of my words is kind of bleh.
Yeah, I'm actually gonna.
It's just filler word, which is like bleh.
Hold on, let me see, because I got 2 cards.
Clearly, I don't need this anymore.
Similar.
Oh no!
Guys.
I have the card for creating a word, and I'm not sure how I feel about it because I don't know what concepts I'm going to hit up where I'm going to be like, I want to create a word around that entirely based on like, because the rules around creating a word are like building syllables and everything, and I'm not sure where I...
Creating a word is very weird. You're not wrong.
Yeah.
It's definitely an oddball one.
You need time out.
Okay. Let's go ahead.
Yeah, I'm just going to discard create a word and just have a full age 2 deck so that I can start getting sad.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So...
We can't have nice things.
Super can't. Who doesn't have... Has everybody got 3 cards in their hand? Looks like they do. Okay. Cool and beans. All right. So, back around to me. So, let's see. What have I got in my hand here? Oh boy. That's actually pretty good. That's not terrible. And... I think that one's not as interesting. Yeah. Okay. I'm going to play Faction. And, actually, I should move this over here so we can read our 3 other things here. Faction. A group emerges within the isolation with strong opinion on how things need to change. Name them. Ooh. So, I feel like it makes a lot of sense. Let's see. Okay. There's 2 ways I could go with it with Faction. Because it could either be whatever it takes in the sense that a faction within Stonewall gets way more militant and starts like going out more to rabble rouse, or it could be that faction is an aspect of trust is earned in the sense of like they're like, nah, we need to really rethink what we're doing, and you know we're not gonna let this go by. What do I want to attach this to? I think I'm gonna attach faction to trust is earned. I think I'm going to start there.
Oh, no. All right.
So we're going to do that. It's going to be great. It's going to get ugly. It's going to be wonderful.
Oh.
So is this a faction of people who are especially gatekeepy, or is this a faction of people who want to cling to the radical acceptance ideas? Like, which one is the majority now?
This, well, the majority is a good question, but this faction is definitely born out of the gatekeepy folks.
Okay.
Like, they are... certainly, like, the first word that then jumps to mind, if we keep saying it, is, like, the gatekeepers, or, like, the watchmen or something. You know, something gate-related, or, like,
Maybe gatekeepers gets shortened just to, like, keepers.
Keepers.
Yeah.
That's really good. Oh, that's really good. especially because it's like, yeah, we need to keep to ourselves. We need to keep our own protected. We need to,
It sounds so good and helpful when
yeah.
really terrible.
I'm just going straight. Nope, I don't need any other things. It is definitely keepers.
We in.
That's so good. That is so good.
Ugh.
The keepers. Oh, the keepers are here and they suck. Okay, and then our conversation prompt is a disagreement made public. And I actually need to, sorry stream, I gotta roll down a little bit because I need to see who everybody is real quick. Okay, so actually I don't need to go down that far. I can just go down a little bit. All right. I want a disagreement made public between, let's see. Well, who is it that identified with radical acceptance the most? 'Cause I'm trying to remember.
Cassandra's one of them.
Okay.
And I think you're the other one, right?
I think that's true. I feel like then this is a conversation between, like, yeah, Cassandra and me, and like Dot and Artemis. Like, as I think we're kind of coming to clashing a little bit over, like, hey, you know,
Whatever it takes for acceptance.
yeah, like we've been pushing for, like, yeah, let's just keep letting people in, and maybe y'all are just like,
And I also feel like Artemis would even be like more keeping people out than Dot would, because that's like, yeah, we need to be careful of who we let in, but maybe we don't need to go that far.
for sure. So let me scooch this over a little bit more.
But yeah, Artemis would be far more about keeping the people we can trust to fight for what we need, so that we can protect those other people in the future. But now is the time to be.
So maybe this disagreement is like, we were about to let some new person or new group of people even into the community, and someone put the kibosh on that, and it's just sort of like this. So it started off as a pretty reasonable fight, has just like blown up into this full born argument that's happening like out in the common area or something, or just. Or even like maybe it's happening like at what now passes, like maybe the entryway didn't used to have like a actual gate on it, but now it does. We actually have like we've kind of repaired the bars and we pulled them across the front of the thing. Yeah, and I think maybe Jesse comes down. He's walking around and oh jeez, as I break the stream briefly. Don't worry, it's fine. And it's like, hey, what's all this I'm hearing about us not having any new blossomings right now? I thought that was kind of our whole thing here, and to bring more tomatoes into the vine. You know, that's what I was told. What the hell's going on?
I didn't have a branch for them. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it? When? Excuse me, when the hedge did we start worrying about where to put people? That's the whole thing, is people come, they hustle, and we give them a place to rest. When did that change?
Cassandra's nodding, and she, as always, has a card ready, and it's a card that sort of suggests that danger lies down this path.
There's been a lot of shit going down. A lot of cops around. Some people are taking it a little far, but for right now, we've got to be a little bit more choosy.
Okay, so no, I get it. Y'all just gonna be a bunch of keepers then. Okay, that's the way the tide's turning now.
We just got to be ready for a fight. So when it comes down to it, we can later help those people. But right now, we're in no position to be able to help them.
Yeah, whatever. We're filtering out everyone who comes through here. I don't see how that makes us any different than the hegemony. So, whatever. Y'all could just... Man, I thought y'all were tomatoes, but like, nah. Just a bunch of hedging jerks.
You want to let someone... Because these cops ain't fucking around anymore. They're coming for us. We can't sit here and hedge and let people in who are just gonna go report back to the hegemony.
Whatever. I gotta riot the plan. I ain't got any time for this, you know. But hey, if you wanna watch the vine rot, feel free to keep it. Just keep it.
Just trying to work for a good draw for the whole vine.
I think that's scene right there.
Yeah, I was going to say, presumably Jesse walks off and Cassandra follows them.
For sure. Okay, so hooray, we're all falling apart. Oh, I should hide this deck because we don't need age 2 anymore. And let's just shrink. Hey, you get out of here. Get out of here. Come on, get. Don't nobody want you. I need to find age 3 cards where shit starts getting excessively real. I would like to deal myself a card. Okay. And so next up, Michi. Or Dot, if you prefer. It is your turn. What you got, Dot?
I am contractually obligated to play this one.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Yeah.
very good. That is very, very good.
So pronoun, us, you, them. The abstract ways we group ourselves in one another. We have a special way to refer to some in the isolation. What is this new pronoun and how do we use it? Why is it important to who we are?
It's really good. Yeah, scooch that over. Good call.
I think this falls under It Takes a Village.
Okay. Maybe it's like a new pronoun for like what we consider a parent or something. Excuse me, or like a child, or like. Sorry, what?
Elders in the community.
Yeah, like I'm trying to think. What would be? Well, are there any other groups that would make sense to have us?
No.
Oh.
No. Sorry, cat.
So our new pronoun is cat.
I mean,
That would be pretty on brand for most of us here.
That's true, honestly.
So to go back to the farm thing,
Yeah, right?
Absolutely.
on a farm to like keep the pests down. Down for like our enforcers within the community, people who are in
Ooh.
charge of booting people who have shown to be.
Oh, I like
shitty
that.
creatures.
So yeah, so like we have like a word for like our toughs and our heavies essentially.
Yeah.
So yeah, like cat's not bad, but like what if we focus that a bit more to something like our tigers or like our lions or something? Or our bears. It could be that as well.
Oh well.
I mean, honestly,
Oh boy.
which actually I don't hate that, honestly.
Yeah.
I actually really don't hate bears. Yeah.
No, I mean
Yeah.
it's another good rebranding of.
That's so good. That's so good. I mean, it's ultimately on you, Michi. Your decision, but
Are you saying, Nerdy?
Oh, I was just saying that I like it.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with bears. for
Bears.
our
Awesome.
enforcers.
All right, that was attached to It Takes a Village, I believe.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is a pronoun. Bear. That's awesome. And the prompt is the lines between us. So, who do you want to have a conversation about bars? A big old bar. Need them bars to protect us.
Really good question. I feel like also Dot would fall under this, so that's definitely one. But I don't know who else should be in this conversation.
Well,
Like Dot and Artemis both fall under bear.
yeah, that feels pretty solid.
Yeah.
So yeah, so is it just Dot and Artemis then, or is it like Dot Artemis and like BBS? Because BBS is also going out, getting up to the nonsense they get up to.
And BBS needs to bear with him.
And I will say things are probably
Yes.
definitely actually because things are getting really like hairy out there. Like okay, oh, god damn it, I can't say 2 words. Yeah, because there's a lot of cops, and that makes BBS's job really hard, and I'm staying focused on the game because I'm a goodie. So yeah. Then yeah, the prompt is the lines between us. So what maybe it's a conversation about what's like changed, like what with y'all's situation.
Yeah, like a conversation about why BBS needs someone with him now.
Sure.
Hey, Dot, I'm gonna run down to the hedges. I got a contact to meet up with.
You got a bear with you?
No, I mean, you should be all right though, right?
No, it's too hot out there. You should really be bringing a bear with you. I can go. I'm free right now.
I mean, yeah, we could. I mean, this, and no offense to Bear, but last time you went with me, got a little heated, and this is a real skittish contact. I want to make sure that we're getting Divine exactly what it needs,
Okay. Well, maybe I can recommend somebody that's maybe not as intense as myself. But I really think to keep you, my tomato, safe, you should really be taking a bear with you.
No, you're right. I know. I'm just, I'm so used to running myself more than anything, but I definitely appreciate you and the rest of the bears a lot.
I think that's our scene.
I think that's a good place to.
Yeah, I think that's a great place to scene. I'm so happy we went with Bear. That's so good. That's so good. This is making me so happy.
So hard to avoid a bear is driving.
How you avoiding a joke? How could this be? All right.
I'm saving it for something better.
I'm just gonna keep rolling. Hey, oh
I
darn
can
it!
barely contain myself. You're right.
Oh no! Here's the worst part. It's your turn next. So
well,
play me a card, honey. Oh, let me get Michi another card here. Deal. 1 card, 2. Deal. There you go.
I got some good one. You know what?
I love good ones.
Let's make things terrible.
Oh yeah.
Oh no.
Awesome. Let me make this nice and big for the stream. Oh, let me completely screw. Roll 20. You are being a thing right now. There we go.
Roll 20, quit being a hedge.
Yeah. It's being such a hedge right now.
I'm not showing my H3 card.
Okay. So, vice, an indulgence, a weakness, a salve, a vice shared by some in the isolation spreads. What is it called, and what are the consequences? Sweet
Vices.
relief. All right, not yet.
So what do we attach a vice to?
It could be something, I mean, it could be alcohol, it could be drugs, it could be, kicking in a hedge.
I mean, violence could certainly be. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, do we want to call it a kink?
Only if we're not going to let it go to pride.
Hey!
And now I'm sad.
Social commentary.
We have thoughts about pride. Anyway, well, let's think about this from the other direction. Like, what of our three aspects does it make interesting to have like related to vice? Is it because if it's like whatever it takes, then like the vice could certainly be something like violence, like we're acting out because like we feel like we need to be more extreme about it. It takes a village, like like definitely it could be a situation of like, look, some people just need a little creature comfort to get along. I mean, the vice could even be more abstract, like it's contact with people that are still like citizens in the hegemony. Not everybody's.
Oh,
Go ahead.
I was going to say the vice could also be related to the concept of whatever it takes, but more abstractly, it's about like the things that people need to do to be okay with the other things that they're doing,
Yeah, I mean,
the cognitive dissonance.
And also with resources limited and crackdown coming, a lot of medication is going to be harder to find, especially antidepressants, anxiety medication.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh.
I mean, especially given the
throw it
kinds
into whatever it takes too.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, given the kind of work that we're like forced into at this point, because like we still have to, we can't grow everything, and some stuff we still buy. So like we're not doing pretty stuff for straight people right now.
True. And that comes with a mental health cost. Like,
absolutely.
I'm sure a fair number of us probably have at least some PTSD.
Oh yeah. Like we all live
anxiety from living under a hegemony that wants us dead, and we never ever get to forget it.
Yeah. I mean, and never mind the fact that like the world just went through a like global scale apocalypse. Like that'll fuck up anybody. Never mind like the low level PTSD of just being a queer person in the middle of all of it. So it's just that wonderful like stack on stack on stack of issues. So okay, so that's what our vice is related to. But what is it? What's our vice?
A mimetic virus is what wrecked everything, right?
Yeah. Some kind of an idea that like spread real bad and just messed with people's heads, and society like imploded on itself. Like whether that means that people like went berserk and started attacking each other, or whether they like got like just shut down mentally and then just kind of like laid there until they died, or mimetics is fun and scary.
Yeah.
But somehow it like broke the minds of the people that it came in contact with, and that's what's left us with a bunch of fascist dickheads who were like, we're gonna maintain purity of thought, please. Yeah.
In that case, a vice might be flirting with that mimetic stuff, just to intentionally use it to kind of blank out for a bit.
Oh, interesting. That could actually be really interesting too with again, this is thinking ahead like another game or two, but like it could be something where like intentionally exposing yourself to some part of that gives you a little bit of access to like the psychic maelstrom, and like there's like a little bit of like I'm not lifting cars like Jean Grey, but like I can kind of get a read on people like I can't usually when I'm partaking of this. So maybe there's a temptation there to kind of go into it. Yeah, that's really good.
Yeah.
So what the hell do we call it?
There's a chance that you could go too far, and we know what happens when that happens, but
yeah, for sure.
Just the right amount at certain intervals.
Open up that third eye, just a little.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what the hell do we call it then? Maybe it's like
grafting.
Ooh.
Okay. That's pretty good.
Interesting.
That's splicing in that outer forbidden thing into the vine. Ooh, all right.
Ooh, yeah. Ooh, yeah. Oh, I like that a lot. Okay. So our prompt is sweet relief all too brief. Of course it rhymes. So, Jack, who is going to be in our conversation for this word?
I think, Cassandra, and
That makes sense.
yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. And
Cassandra has definitely been grafting.
yeah,
No question.
I would say Dot and BBS too.
Cool. So yeah, so in some capacity, the three of you are seeking very brief relief via grafting.
Who wants to kick it off?
I'm still thinking.
Well, maybe it's something like where one of you has. I mean, the obvious, I guess, there would be BBS would have access to however it is you go about grafting, and maybe the others are like coming to them in like a moment of like I need something, or maybe again, maybe Cassandra's a regular grafter and it's just like over there going like I need my usual stuff, and maybe that's like.
Yeah, I think it makes sense that
got something.
Cassandra has some sort of connection to grafting. I'm also like in the back of my mind, I'm being very intentional. I'm like, Cassandra hasn't spoken yet. What should the first thing she says be? Because it's going to be powerful at this point.
Sure.
I'm like,
yeah.
so I'm like, when does she talk versus when is she just sort of presenting cards? And so that's like a thing I'm thinking about as well as we're talking about like, what should she say?
Well, sure, but I would also encourage you like don't overthink it too much because
Sure.
yeah.
Yeah.
Situation.
So I guess you're approaching BBS in this case.
Yeah, that makes
All right.
sense.
I got something then.
Take it away.
Hey Cassandra, you here for some 14-4, some 28-8?
Cassandra nods. I don't know.
Pull a card if you need something stronger.
Cassandra does pull a card, and it is a thing that it is. She turns it over, and it symbolizes vulnerability and pain.
I mean, I got some 56K, but are you sure?
Cassandra nods. Yeah.
All right. Come on. I'm just gonna like from under a tarp, there is a old computer. And just takes reaches in and starts unscrewing some stuff, and with like a mortar and pestle starts scraping off some silicon dust.
Interesting.
Don't forget to use our new word.
Right.
It's the whole point.
Important.
Just be careful. This is going to be a really strong graft.
Cassandra nods and takes it, and she just kind of walks away. You don't actually see her do anything with it.
All right.
I think that's
Yeah,
an interesting spot.
We can call the scene there for sure.
Yeah.
Sure. Let's get this card.
A little
out of the way.
cyberpunky, but I kind of like that.
Yeah.
Oh no, that's totally fine. Believe me, when we get to Dream Askew, shit's gonna get buck wild. So don't even worry about it. It's a weird ass game, and I love it. All right,
Little bow honkers.
little bow hankers. That game is bow hankers.
Oh, I love it.
What should I do? All right, Cassandra, you are up next to play a card and attach it to some stuff.
Cool. Let's see. I have only age 2 cards, so whatever I do is going to be a bummer.
Oh yeah.
Um,
Ain't no
I
stopping this
think
train.
I'm going to play this evolve action.
Okay.
Um,
Let me make that a
so
little
it
bit
says,
bigger real quick for us. There we go.
as pressure builds, we change in ways big and small. As we change, so does our language. And so it tells me to play it on an aspect in the current age and choose a word from a previous age, move the word to the new aspect and explain how the word has changed meaning because of this aspect, then skip the build a word phase.
Oh wow.
So
Okay.
I am,
Let me shove this over a little bit so we can get access to all of our words here.
yeah. So I am taking the word tomato and moving it under trust is earned. And now
no.
tomato is not just a thing that is part of our shared community on the vine, but it is specifically like for people who are seen as being like good members of the
Yeah.
vine.
Oh wow.
But it's been co-opted by the keepers and made into a thing where like not everyone is a tomato anymore.
Sure. Everybody's on the vine, but ain't everybody tomato no more.
Mhm.
Oh, that's really good. Okay, and our conversation
That
prompt
hurts.
is no, it's fucked and I love it.
Yeah.
The tides of change pull on us. So who is going to have a conversation with this new remixed version of tomato?
I think it's interesting because Jesse and BBS have had kind of a relationship to have them in a scene together. And then I'm wondering if it's better to put in Artemis or Dot for the sort of more hardline person. And I guess that sort of depends on how zealoty we want to get right about this new
Sure.
word use.
That's
so
true.
maybe since Dot is sort of on the line, we have it be BBS, Dot, and Jesse.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's see. The tides of change pull on us. So, trying to think of a good setup for the scene there.
I got something.
Oh yeah, please, by all means, lead.
I think BBS would like approach Jesse and just be like, the hustle has been so bad lately.
Oh yeah.
How is my favorite tomato?
Sorry, I didn't quite catch that.
But how's my favorite tomato?
I mean, I don't know how I feel about all these bears we got running around the place these days. Cause like, I feel like, I mean, you call me tomato and I appreciate that, but it's like, people are acting like not everybody on the vine is like the same anymore, you know? Everybody's running scared. Everybody's so hedging worried that like any minute now, either someone's gonna kick in the door or one of these hedging keepers is gonna kick them out the door, you know? But
Yeah.
you my tomato though. Like I don't think this is ever gonna.
Right? Like, we always got each other for sure. And I mean, I think the Bears, they're scared too. I mean, I know you don't get out too much. I mean, I'm out there all the time. It's bad out there.
Yeah,
And without the Bears, I mean, I
mean,
probably would have come back a couple times.
Yeah, like I appreciate the hustle they do, but like, when was the last time we even had a blossoming? You know, like, has it been weeks? Has it been months? Does anybody remember? Like,
Uh,
I don't know. I wonder what their branch really adds.
Hedging riot.
Ugh, it's true. Ugh, I could go for Tomato Riot right now so bad.
Dot.
I don't know what's up with that. They ain't no tomato. I'll tell you that much, though.
Hey,
Whatever. You've been saying, you've been hanging with them keepers. You've been saying some stuff. I'm just saying.
choice. If I want to keep my team safe, I've got to play nice with it.
Mm-hmm. I'm just starting to wonder who.
If they're out there, they're not in here policing my people.
I'm just wondering if you still are tomato at all. That's all. I'm just wondering. Maybe there's some other fruits around in here.
There's a lot of fruits in here. The whole point.
Yeah, well, some of them are rotten. So.
Mm.
I don't disagree.
I think
guess we got to make sure we. Oh, okay.
Oh no, go ahead. If you have a good closer.
We just need to make sure that they don't rot the vine.
We do need to have a riot though.
Yeah, we do.
Okay. Good deal. So, tomato. You were once so open and giving, and now.
I feel like it might be good for one of us. I was also thinking of rotting as soon as the scene started, so I don't know who wants to discard the cardboard, but I feel like we should codify that one.
I do.
Are you tossing one, or should I toss one?
Yeah. I'm gonna toss that one.
Yeah. Get out of here, honorific. There's no honor here. There's just suspicion and anger.
Tomato on.
Right, let me deal you a fresh card. Boom. Well, rotting would be a offshoot of one of our current words. So, would it be an offshoot of tomato or an offshoot of vine?
That's interesting.
Although it occurs to me, vine is itself a variant of tomato, and I don't know if it actually moves down here with. Yeah. I'd have to check the rule book. I'm just gonna say it doesn't.
If it did.
Yeah, you think?
Okay. Yeah. All right.
Screw it. All right.
I would say that it's an offshoot of tomato.
Okay.
Especially the new meaning of tomato.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Like losing.
So we'll call it rot. And rot is just like that's our word. Sorry, our word for what?
Our word for trust.
For trust?
Or for losing trust.
Okay, losing trust. There we go. Apologies, having just a little bit of trouble hearing you there, but I have got you, fam. Okay. And that brings us around to Artemis Jet. Play a card. Fuck us up, fam. New ritual. Oh, jeez. Everything's changing so much, you guys. Everything's changing.
I think this will go under. I could be. It takes a village or whatever it takes.
Let's see.
Do you have a feeling of what kind of ritual it is?
No, not off the top of my head.
What's our prompt say? Let's see. With the passage of time, our routines change. A new daily ritual has become common in the isolation. Define the new ritual and name it.
How much are people paying attention to the draws anymore? Because it sounds like the keepers are taking a direction not where we were thinking.
I mean, yeah, but let's see. Well, we still got to attach this to, or Nerdy specifically has to attach this to either whatever it takes or it takes a village. I mean, a new ritual out of whatever it takes. It feels to me that that's sort of like a.
I think go with it takes a village. I think that works best,
then,
especially since it's kind of a new rhythm for everybody.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, before everything was agreed on as a unit, we debated it and everything else. Do we still do that, or are some people making final decisions?
Oh, or maybe somebody's making just like declarations, just like this is what we're doing.
The keepers.
Yeah, maybe the keepers have started dictating terms around here, and like, no, this isn't up for discussion. We have to do it this way. And maybe there's some like ritual around that, like the declarations or like the shouts, or I'm trying to think of other good words along those lines. And not much is coming to me.
The new buzz.
Buzz isn't terrible. Buzzing or
Yeah.
this is a
I don't
rough
know.
one. Well, hang on. We've had like blossoming as a special occasion before. Like, what if we go the other direction for it? Like, maybe not wilt, but like
Pruning?
A cutting.
Pruning is
Pruning.
pruning's
Oh,
pretty good.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe that's what it is. Is it a ritual of like we have to like these people are a problem and they're bringing too much heat, they have to go, and we call that a pruning?
Oh.
Oh wow.
I like the idea more that we're setting new rules, maybe we call it a pruning because we're pruning down the excess rules.
Maybe. It feels kind of weird because it's like what we've been doing is adding more rules. Like before we were kind of
Yeah.
open, and now we're kind of like closing in a little bit. We're closing ranks a bit,
Yeah.
but
I mean, if it takes a village, it's affecting everyone.
yes.
It's like trust. That would go great for trust is earned. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
I do
You
like
know,
calling
if
it
the
a
keepers
pruning.
are gathering. Oh, yeah, because if the keepers are gathering like power to themselves, basically,
Mhm.
they're pruning whole vines. Hey,
mm,
this person is clearly not cool, so their whole vine's going.
oof.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah.
Oh boy.
Uh,
All right.
it's taking that accountability and turning it on its head to be used as a weapon.
Yeah.
The other idea I had, kind of in that same vein, is like maybe it's not a rule that the keepers are a word that the keepers are using, but like as the keepers make these new declarations and impose these new rules, the community calls it the pruning.
Oh, that's actually pretty good too.
Oh,
That's actually really good.
yeah. So it's definitely not something anyone really likes.
Yeah.
I mean, does that feel good to you, Nerdy? Does that work for
I
you?
like
or-
it. I like it.
Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and with pruning is our new ritual under It Takes a Village. And the conversation prompt is the new rhythm of our days. So who's gonna talk about pruning?
I think. I think it's going to be Jesse and Artemis.
Okay. Sure, no problem. The new rhythm of our days. Okay, so maybe it's maybe this is just shortly after a pruning has happened, and like, like maybe Jesse didn't get pruned, but someone that he's way into like just did, and now he's just mega pissed about it, and just a lot of Jesse stomping into scenes, but damn it. Yeah. Hey, so what's this I hear about us kicking out some folks? This whole pruning thing we've got going on now. Is this we're really just gonna you spend all this time telling me how hedging bad it is out there, and we're just gonna kick people out into it. That's what's going on?
Just trying to keep everybody safe. We got rot everywhere. We gotta trim those vines.
You know what that sounds like, right? That sounds exactly like the hedging hedge. Like, that's the same shit that they tell us before they kick us out onto the street that we just took these people off of.
I know, I understand it, but we also got a line of cops at our door every day.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like I don't see the cops. I got eyeballs, all right? They're right here. I see the hedging cops, but I thought that's what you bears are supposed to be for. Aren't you supposed to be taking care of these things? So
Well,
the
we
rest of us
can't-
could riot in peace?
But if we're gone, if we're out fighting, and someone who's rotten decides to make their move while we're not here, then what?
Man, whatever.
We
You
gotta
can
make sure we're pruning those vines.
You can make excuses all day long, all you want, but don't come crying to me when it's your tomato getting kicked out there on the next pruning.
What?
I think that might be seen right there.
Stop, stop,
I
stop,
don't-
stop, stop.
My heart hurts.
I feel so bad saying it. I don't like it.
It's very good, though. It's very, very good. Let me deal you up an age 3 card. Deal 1 card, 2. There we go. Deal. Boom. Okay, that's the end of age 2. So now we move into age 3, which is good because we are running short on time here. So we got to get this going. All right, age 3. What was foreshadowed has come to pass. The end of the isolation is near. There is no escaping it. It's a sweep. Every rent boy and working girl for 10 city blocks got taken in. If they can't book them for prostitution, it's public solicitation or obstructing the sidewalk or some shit. We're getting desperate now. How do we compromise the way we look out for each other? I feel like that's a question that pretty much answers itself considering what's been going down.
Yeah, I was going to say this is basically where pruning comes from, right?
Yeah.
So pruning steps up. So I think that the aspect it probably changes is that it takes a village,
Yeah.
which
Yeah.
I think is solid because if Cassandra sees whatever it takes as the aspect that causes our downfall, and whatever it takes is now the only aspect that has survived this long. So
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow. Oh, that's really good. So-
Yeah, I like it. I like that pruning was a thing, and then then it happens. You know what the keepers were afraid of happens, and then now they're using that to really
Yeah.
push it.
See, we were right.
So, okay, so what does it takes a village turn into? What does that transmogrify into? Like, God, is it just every person for themselves? Like,
Every person for themselves, because we still have concepts of tomato, vine, and all of that.
sure, sure.
So
Maybe
like, watching your own, looking out
mm,
for yours,
Protect your vine.
protect your mind.
Protect your
protect your
vine.
vine.
That's pretty good, actually. Protect your vine. Because, yeah,
we call it
'cause-
like building fences.
Yeah, it's like each vine is its own faction.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I feel like a vine is it's sort of that, like we said, we had that thing of if you suck, then the people above you that brought you into this, they start going down with you. So your vine is kind of like that whole, it's the closest thing we have to a family tree essentially of this link of people. So at this point, because we're cutting whole vines off, we need to, it's like Jesse was saying, it's see how you feel when they come for your tomato next, you need to protect your vine.
Yeah.
I think that's really great. I think it's horrifying, but I think it's great.
Yeah.
Yes.
Let's see.
And
here,
we
what
can
do I
discard a
got?
card.
Oh, yes. And if you want to discard a card,
Get rid of that.
I also have an age 3 card that's not showing, and I don't know what that's all about.
Beautiful.
There you go. Okay, so I need to play a card for just kick us off in age 3.
Let me throw out an H2 card as well.
There you go.
This one.
Doop-a-doo. Doop-a-doo. Throw all that crap up there. All right. Get smaller. There we go.
I can't see the age 3 deck. Oh, there it is.
Oh yeah, you have to scroll down a little
My
bit.
Roll20 thing got weird.
Yeah, Roll20. It's
that.
okay. So let's see. Discovery's not bad. But no, I think right now what we really need is a symbol of hope. Because shit's getting dour, and we're starting to turn in on each other. Cops are actively antagonizing us and hassling us and arresting us at this point. So we need a symbol of hope. And I feel like, God, what a wonderful trio of things to attach a symbol of hope to. Either we don't trust people, or you need to protect your own family, or do whatever it takes. Actually, you know what? I almost want to attach it to whatever it takes. In a way, because I come back to like what our symbol is, and it's that lightning bolt, that pink lightning bolt kind of thing. And I kind of want to come back to that. So let me just put a word over here. It's a symbol of hope. Let's see. We see a beam of hope. When things are most dire, we turn to this. I mean, is it just that lightning bolts, or is it like, or geez, I don't know. I'm kind of struggling here.
Is this the moment the tomato becomes the symbol?
Well, okay. Well, what if? Jeez, we do definitely have this plant theme. Maybe this is the harvest. Like when we gather up all of the tomatoes and take them out of this crappy farm dirt garbage place and like off to whatever comes after being a plant stuck in the ground.
I like that.
I think this is the harvest. I think this is definitely the harvest. Yeah, beautiful. All right. And then our
said there, Jack.
Hmm?
Did I dig it?
Yeah, I did.
I got
Why
that.
are you this way?
I don't know, but someday we'll fix it. And our prompt is a moment of hope in the darkness. So a moment of hope. I feel like they've been so dour. Like I kind of want to have Dot and Artemis have a scene talking about hope, and you know, like something in a moment of darkness. Like y'all have definitely been dealing with like these cops like hassling, arresting our people, and you know, there's only so much you can do to stop it. But then something happens, something harvesty.
Okay. You know what? I think I'll start. I know it's been rough. I know there's been a lot of talk about the hedging rot and all that, but it's okay. We have a harvest to look forward to. There are still tomatoes here that we can believe in. We're still here. We can still.
There's a harvest coming, but we keep losing people. Whether it's to the cops or to the hedging keepers. How do we grow if we don't let anyone in? How do we grow if we keep taking people out?
I don't know anymore.
Maybe we need to step back and let someone in. Maybe we need a blossoming.
Maybe that can be our harvest. Give people something to look forward to. You're right.
Yeah, I think that's great. It's a perfect place to end it. Okay. And then next up is Dot. Bring a word on down. Get all these out of here.
So this actually follows really well.
Mm.
What we
Okay.
pass on.
Let me make this nice and big. Whoop.
Children, newcomers, opportunities to pass on our language. Even now, we are compelled to do so. So, after you make a connection, play it on a previously defined word, explain how we teach this word to those who don't know it. Skip the build a world phase, and in the conversation, explore passing on this word.
Wow. Okay, so I'm gonna scooch this over a little bit and make it a little bit smaller so we can see all of our words. So yeah, which word do you want to attach this to, and what are we passing on?
I kind of want to attach it to riot.
Okay.
Like,
Yeah.
it's like Dot and Artemis just had this discussion about welcoming someone new in, having a blossoming,
Yeah, for sure.
bringing some hope, and then just teaching that person, yeah, it's dark right now, but sometimes you gotta fucking party.
For sure. So I will note at the bottom of this one, it says may have outsiders on it, which means that for the first time, the conversation can include people from outside of like the five of us. Normally only we're inside these conversations, but now it could be like, it could be anybody. Like it could be somebody from the hegemonies like coming in to like break up a riot. It could be somebody who like, like, hey, welcome, come in. This is your riot time. So yeah, who do we want to have in this discussion? The scene.
I really like the idea of it just being this new person's blossoming, basically. Yeah, it's riot. You feel special one. This is how we let loose.
Okay, for sure. So who all do you want to plunk into that scene?
I feel like everyone needs to be.
Yep.
Okay. Does anybody want to kick us off?
I mean, if it's a blossoming, if we're sticking to the tradition of the blossoming, right, then it starts, of course, with Cassandra turning over the card. We now know that that card has a picture of a harvest on it, which is where that connection comes from. So
Excellent.
that's something that happens.
Yeah, and I think it's just God, probably Jesse's probably like 3 sheets, and he's just like, yeah, see, now this is what I'm talking about. We got to get back to our roots. We got to this is the kind of harvest that we were like really waiting for, and sometimes it's just a riot is what it takes for y'all to understand. Come here. It's like glumps onto BBS like you're a real tomato, and I need you to know it. I mean that so much. And then like slumps to the floor.
Ruffle his hair and say, I told you I'd get you a riot.
Good riot, though. I mean, it's been too long since we had a really good hedged riot.
Too long. Too
So,
much
Here's
hustle.
to that.
You're right. Been too long.
Ugh. Look, you're new, all right? But this right here, right now, you're gonna do the hustle. You're gonna do it all the damn time.
Hustle time.
Hustle.
Hustle.
But remember now. Remember right now how you're feeling. Because this riot is why we're here.
And then I think Jesse like pukes at the side of like one of the opening dividers, just frar.
That
is a riot.
Like it's perfect. Oh my gosh. Okay. That is what we passed on. That's how we pass on our culture to other people. That's so good. All right.
Keeping it out for them.
Yeah. I made a rainbow, you guys.
Oh no.
All right, BBS, you are up. Play us a card. Lay it on me.
All right. I think. Both of mine are super sad. I think, though, I'm going to play this one.
Fracture. All right, I'm just gonna make this nice and big for the stream. Here we go.
So, fracture. A group defines itself by not using one of our words.
Ooh.
Make a connection, pick a previously defined word, explain why a group has stopped using this word. You skip the build a word phase, and in the conversation, explore the fracture.
Oh boy. All right, so I'm just gonna scooch this over out of the way and say, okay, so which previously defined word is some group not using?
Well, we just used blossoming and riot, so I have to keep them now. Hustle.
Well, not necessarily. I mean, the keepers could have turned real hard on something.
It's
You
true.
know, it's interesting you mentioned that. I'm going to use it on keepers.
Ooh.
Mm.
Okay.
And the reason I think the keepers got that word to stop being used is it made them upset.
Fair.
And
Okay.
so that word had to get phased out.
Okay, so it's the keepers of specifically, they very much do not call themselves keepers, but some of us outside of that, we still kind of do.
Yeah.
Okay, so and then our
But woe be it unto the vine that is heard uttering such phrases of disparagement against our glorious friends.
Oh,
our
wow.
fellow
Okay.
Tomatoes.
Our
So-
glorious bears.
No, we like our bears.
That's
no-
true.
Nobody's got a problem with bears,
I'm a
but
server of keepers.
okay, so our conversation prompt is rifts made permanent. So yeah, who's gonna have a permanent rifting? I don't think I like the way I said that.
Whale.
Well,
Oh man, who's gonna have a permanent rifting? Is it gonna get extra sad?
I feel like it has to
Please
get extra
do.
sad. I feel like
do it.
you and I might be thinking of the same coupling.
Yeah.
Whatever's right in here, you go for it.
Oh, I'm
Speak
so
truth.
sorry. It's Jesse and BBS.
Yep,
Oh
It has to be.
no!
it has to be.
I was afraid of that.
Yeah. Okay.
That's when I start bawling.
Okay, so is it maybe a situation where we've kind of hit a split on this whole keepers thing, where it's like I'm just continuing to push further and further away from it, and you're like, maybe they've got some ideas.
I think so.
Okay. Then yeah, I think I know how to start this. Maybe it's yeah, like maybe we've gotten like a real friendly. Like maybe we like both live in the same like tent lean-to thing inside of the place, and like maybe is this like maybe shortly after the last blossoming or something. And
Yeah.
and I'm kind of riding high on that, and I just kind of like, I'm getting up one morning, just like, oh, I don't know what the hedge I did last night, but we definitely have to keep having riots like that. That was just, ugh. Hey, you.
Yeah. I mean, it was good. Just, we can't have them all the time, though, because, where are we going to get all the food?
Yeah, well, you'll keep getting them, you big old. You go with the bears, you'll get food like you always do. Don't go turning keeper on me over here. Come on.
Whoa, really? Seriously?
What?
Come on. I mean, you know how hard it is to go out there and hustle every single day for this stuff?
I mean, yeah, you come home and
You don't
yell
want-
about it every time, so
Yeah, I also come home with the bruises and the bleeding, and and you should see some of the bears that don't come back.
no, I mean,
Come on,
tomato.
it's
That's,
not easy.
No, it's not. But like, we can't keep spiraling apart if we're trying to pull people together. You know, like I'd say, like these. You can't just be like these hedging keepers. Like there has to be a place in between where we can.
Yo, stop calling me a hedging keeper, all right?
Um,
Seriously. I mean, that's some real rot shit there.
Tomato, I'm sorry. I just feel like it was so harvest last night, you know? And it's just like I don't know. I don't know what's happening to us at this point.
Look, I get it. You like living in the past, but you don't go outside. You don't see what's hedging happening all the time. I get you do your hustle here, but if you did some hustling outside, you get it. You'd understand that we need to do this now.
I see what it is. All right, fine. You're not happy with my branch? That's fine. Maybe I'll just prove myself. You can keep the keepers, okay?
You know what? Fine. At least they keep shit running.
Scene. And also my heart just broke. Oh, God. I feel fucking sad. That sucked. That sucked and I hated it and I loved it.
Yeah.
Gosh.
I was joking about to cry. God damn it.
Okay, well, Cassandra, you're up next in the turn order to play a terrifying Doom card that will make us all feel really sad.
Yep, all three that I have are bad. So
Where did that go? Oh no, it doesn't go.
Okay. It just kind of like prompts a situation around the word. God, I just feel weird. I love you, Jack. Let's never break up again.
Oh, see, I know, right? That's
so I
such
put down a card.
Oh no.
Why?
Survival's
and
good.
It says survival.
Read it.
And it says that using this word dims our chances for survival. Using it has dire consequences.
Oh, jeez.
So I played on a previously defined word and explained why using it makes survival difficult. We skip the build a word phase. And then the conversation we have explores the concession made for survival. Finally, we tear up a word.
Oh, no.
I think the word we have to get rid of is... I think we're ending blossomings.
Honestly, it was either that or tomato.
Yep,
yeah, it was.
Exactly. Yeah, and I'm like, I feel like we need tomato maybe to carry into our next game potentially or something. Or I don't know, maybe somebody else has a card that will get rid of tomato. But yeah, no, I feel like the hegemony has been getting word of the blossoming, and they are thinking of it. They are advertising it as a conversion ritual, and so it's turning outsiders more hostile against us, because rather than it being sort of people getting to be who they are, they think we're especially because there's like a mentorship before it, right? Like they think that we're taking impressionable people in and converting them to our agenda.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's where we're at.
I hear the agenda's gay.
It's so gay.
All
right, so for our conversation prompt, it is a foolish risk. So who's taking a foolish risk?
Yes. Yes, it should be a foolish risk, and it also says in the conversation, the concession made for survival should be explored.
Oh,
so I think it makes sense. So definitely Artemis, because I think Artemis is going to be one of the people recognizing the need to make concessions for survival. I think Jesse is definitely the most likely to take a foolish risk. And I don't know if there needs to be a third person in that. I think it might just be between these two.
That makes sense. He did just say that he was going to go out and find a new branch, so... yeah, okay. It needs to be explore the concession made for survival. So... maybe it's something like... maybe I like coming over to like we haven't had another one in a while, and I'm coming over to Artemis to be like, so when's our next blossoming? When's that gonna happen? Maybe Artemis is like, what do you mean next blossoming? That shit's done. Maybe it's something like, is that sound like a good jumping off point?
Yeah.
Okay.
Start with you coming over and
Yeah.
being like, what's the next?
Hey, yeah. So, hey, like, remember, we had a real riot of a blossoming not too long ago, but like, yeah, it's kind of been a while. I feel like we should get some more people in here. So, like, hey, when's our next one?
Nobody told you.
Nobody told me what.
It's not that we're not gonna try to bring in more people, but the blossoming is it's done. We can't do it anymore. That the hedges, it's just breaking apart out there, and they're using the blossoming against us, and we can't. We just gotta stop it.
Well, no. We need it more than ever now. Then, are you kidding me? Like, what that does for people, what that did for me, what that did for you. You had a blossoming.
I know. I understand.
BBS had a blossoming. Like, we've all done this. It's.
I lost 2 bears last night over this. Out there.
Yeah.
Because just because we were out there, they thought we were trying to take people to the blossoming I don't want to end it. I understand where you're coming from. Trust me, but it's just getting worse out there. And they're using it against us, and we don't have a choice.
If the vine ain't gonna blossom, though, like, what even do we have? We have a new subscriber, I think.
Yeah, we do.
Welcome.
Happy Pride.
Happy Pride. All right. Fine. We'll prune blossoming as a whole idea. I don't even know why I stay anymore, honestly. And I think that's where we stop there, yeah. Cut that scene. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Our last card for age 3. Artemis, you are up.
Oh no. Pressure feels real.
It's all right.
Let's see. Let's end with something a little less sad.
Oh, thank God.
Oh,
You
Oh,
have
thank God.
non-sad cards in your hand?
what's that like?
Oh, shit.
Okay, so.
Promise. Changing words of the
Oh.
bond.
Well,
Silent hold. The actor saying these words carries intention and consequence. A special kind of promise made in isolation. What is the promise? And I cannot see the whole thing. Hold on.
What is the phrase?
promise? And what is the phrase we say to give it? Give it.
So, promise. What do you want to attach this to?
Trust is earned. I feel like that's
That makes sense. Yeah. And what's our promise that we make? Like is it like if we stick to our plant theme, is it something like sowing or like or seeding or
vines twine.
twining?
yeah. Twining. I like twining.
That's not too bad, yeah. Like the idea of, yeah. Although we do have this attached to trust is earned is the thing, so like
Oh,
maybe this is something like
I mean that's a huge trust.
I guess that's
Yeah,
true.
that's why I put promise there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because I guess if two vines twine, if one of those has to go, both vines have
Both
to
go. Yup.
Oh wow.
Promise to do the bet for you if you want to.
Oof, yeah. Okay. So yeah, trust is super earned then at that point because like that's everything. So yeah. So do we like twined then, or
Yeah.
entwined? I guess.
It,
Or like twined. Twined is good.
yeah.
Words are supposed to be kind of weird. All right, and then our prompt is words to live by. So who's having this scene in Act 3 here, or Age 3, I should say.
Oh, let's see. I think I kind of want it to be Jesse Dot and Artemis, just because Jesse's been having the hardest time.
Yeah,
Mm,
he doesn't love the direction we've gone.
Yeah.
And Dot is having like mama bear instincts going on here.
For
Yeah,
sure.
and I think
Sure.
Artemis still views Jesse as a tomato and wants to, make some kind of twine in
Okay.
terms of,
Okay. Scooch this over so I can see all of our words here. Yeah, does anybody have a good jump off for that then? Or,
yeah, I think at least I walk up to Jesse and I just, look, Jesse, I know that that we all haven't been getting a good draw,
yeah. Hedging right.
but look, I want you to know that whether or not we disagree, I've always wanted to keep you safe. I don't know if you believe me.
No, I don't. Have you been grafting? Like, are you serious right now? You've been coming at me like I'm the biggest rot on the vine right now. Honestly, I don't see much reason why I should stick around for any of this. Like, there ain't no harvest coming.
I know. We all know it. We all see the direction it's going. But look, Jesse, you're not the biggest rot. You questioning anything we're doing is exactly why you still need to be here. And I just wanted to say that I'm trying to keep you safe.
Are you serious? Because you've made a real hustle out of busting my ass, I gotta say.
I know. I think Dot would agree with me in that keeping you safe. And she's been all up in me about how I've been treating you. They've been, yeah. It's just
Being kept safe is what I'm exactly worried of, but... I mean, Dot, is this for real? Is this...
No Artemis doesn't joke around like that.
That's true. About as funny as a shot to the kneecap, honestly. All right. Fine. I'll meet y'all both ways. Or halfways. Whatever. I'll meet y'all both ways, halfways. Show me how to be a bear. I
done.
think that's the scene there for that. Just like Jesse giving up. Oh, buddy. Okay, so that is the end of age 3 for our isolation. Good news, it all ends in happiness and vines and tomatoes. Just kidding. Entering the legacy, the last moments or the aftermath. And we're gonna have to do this quick because we are way over time. There have been raids nearly every night this week. The cops could kick us out any day now, if they wanted to. They're just waiting for something more serious than a building code violation. Most of us are in much deeper shit. It's terrifying, knowing the rug will be yanked out from under us at any moment. Some of us have even set out for the wildlands, preferring to risk the unknown horrors of the cataclysm than to stay and face the certainty of death at the end of a cop's rifle. Who sticks around to the end, and why? And rather than answering that question directly, what I'm going to do is recall all these wonderful cards. Recall, and okay, well, recalled some of those cards, and bring up the legacy deck. So I'm going to deal 1 legacy card to every player Boom. Ran out of cards in the deck before dealing to all players. What are you talking about? There's 6 cards in the deck.
I don't have a legacy card.
How on earth can that be possible? Son of a...
Do you need to recall them and then reshuffle them?
Let's see here. Let me recall. Recall all. Loop. I'm going to hit the shuffle button. I'm going to hit the deal button. 1 card to all players. There are 6 of them in the game. There we go. All right.
Yay.
So you've got a fun new card in your hand. It is a legacy card. It should say something along the lines of like, choose one of these and then narrate a short epilogue about your character to end the story. So yeah, I guess I will go first on that, seeing as how I'm the first player. And Jesse's shit has gotten extremely heavy. And this is not a conversation necessarily. This is just, you can narrate basically what happens to your fun friend at the end of all of this. So, I think I'm gonna pick. Is that assumption the outsiders make about you a feeling of relief in your new life, or the shame that comes with loss? Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with the shame that comes with loss. I think because I think what that means for Jesse is it's kind of that loss of the free love sort of innocence that he had when he came into this. He was all very doe-eyed and things felt very like, oh, this is so great. But then as time has ground him down, he's just like, oh, I guess it's not great. And I guess we have to start fighting back. And like, they're pushing in. So, I think, I think what we see with Jesse is he's about to go out on his first like maybe the cops like have started like legitimately like not quite marshaling outside our area, but like the presence is not just increased, but there's like guns and APCs and stuff, and like guys in riot armor have started just like hanging out in the neighborhood. And we go back in and we see Jesse like walking by, and he's as like decked out in combat gear as we get, and like has a rifle or something. And he kind of like walks by the tent that he shared with BBS, and just kind of like glances in, and then just like racks the rifle, and then like walks out of frame. So that's me. Dot.
Right. So my options are something the outsiders stand to learn, saying goodbye to what was once normal, or a moment of deja vu. And I'm actually going to go with a moment of deja vu on this, because here at the end, Dot has taken it on herself to help shepherd those of the community who want to go and find a new place and start a new thing. Just like as she's doing this, she kind of looks around, and it's all so familiar. She's done this before. She's taken these young kids and helped them move, helped them find a better place before, and she'll just keep doing it again, as long as she has to. And that's when she just leaves with the last group. I don't know when she went she, but we'll go with it.
Hey, gender is a whole thing. People transition all the time, I'm told.
Yeah.
Okay. BBS.
Okay.
What are you begging, borrowing, or stealing? Let's make this nice and big for folks real quick. There we go. Oh, geez. These are all...
They put the plant metaphor right in the card for us.
They did.
How will you be remembered, or out of the ash the seedling sprouts, or cast out again and again?
I hate all of these.
You know what? No, there's a good one in there.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. So BBS can see the writing on the wall. Very literally in a lot of cases. And they start ranging out into the wildlands more and more. And one day they come back and they are just hedged up, just real bad. But they make it, and pretty much the last thing they do is hand over a map and make it clear that that's where y'all need to get to. And then they pass.
God damn it. God damn it, Jack.
So out of the ash of seedling sprouts.
Motherfucker. Cassandra, you're up next. You get to follow that. Lucky you.
Yep. So my options:
Oh God.
contempt for the outsider's ways, or a ritual for the dead, or as the walls come crumbling down. I'm going to be using as the walls come crumbling down. So I would say if this were shot like a TV scene,
Please.
the audience would know, right? You'd be able to see that there are riot cops and all of those folks are lining up outside the stone wall, and they are about ready to bust in. There's a party of folks who are leaving based on the map that the bears brought back. There are other people who are too sick or scared to leave, and they have rallied around Cassandra for hope. And Cassandra draws a card and she looks at it and she says, don't worry, it's the harvest. And she puts it away. But the audience can see over her shoulder that it is in fact the death card. And then we just hear a door get busted in and cut to black.
Okay. One more to go. One more. Artemis, you are up next. Close us out.
Y'all are jerks because you put me in a position where that last one works really well.
Oh, wow.
So,
Oh, whoa.
no matter how anybody feels about her methods or how far she went, Artemis always wanted to keep people safe. So when things start getting too bad, and the map comes and she gets the map, she starts taking people out in small groups so they aren't noticed. Starts taking people out there and coming back, keep promising she'll take everybody. And then so the next group's readying up, and but she's on her way back. But when she gets there, she's too late. And whatever happened. She doesn't know, but it breaks her a little bit. And I don't think Artemis doesn't go to that location. She stays and fights the homogeny because that's what she'd do.
And that brings our isolation to a close. We're super over time. Normally I'd spend a little bit more time decompressing after that, but like I got to get out of the way of another stream, unfortunately. I want to thank everybody in the chat. Y'all were fantastic. I super want to thank all of my players. This was incredible and more than I could have hoped for. I really hate to rush everybody through this, but maybe we'll touch a little bit. Maybe we can touch a little bit more on this when we play again next week, because we'll be doing this same time on Saturday, upcoming Saturday. So just real quick around the horn. Again, you know what? We'll go in reverse order just so poor Michi has a second. Hey Nerdy, where can we find you on Twitter, and what are you doing? What are you up to?
Hi, yeah, I'm Nerdy Teddy. Find me on Twitter Twitter at Nerdy Teddy. I run Monday nights. I run the Masks Aegis Shield of Earth game, which is coming back this week with a little bit of a time skip and possibly some surprises. So check that out. I joined the Pokemon game that every other Thursday.
Yeah.
And make sure you check out the podcast now that we have launched that. So some of us have worked hard on that. So make sure you check that out. That is everything I have.
Awesome. Connor, who are you? Where can we find you? What you up to?
All right. My name's Connor. I am on Twitter at Connor A. Walters. I'm in the Twitch chat as the Pronoferix, and I'm in the Discord as the Recognition Scene. So I'm just all over the place with a variety of AKAs.
Hell yeah.
You can find me on Twitter being a part-time academic poster and a full-time shit poster. That's
beautiful.
That's all I've got. Thank you so much for having me.
Awesome. Capjack, if you've got yourself composed, please tell us who the hell you are and what the hell you do and where the hell we can find you.
Hey everybody, I'm Capjack or at Captain J Cross on the Twitters, and you can find me here a couple nights a week here on Welcome to the Party. Every Friday night, we are here with Dragon Dark Days. Currently, we're running through the Tomb of Annihilation. Annihilation like our feelings tonight. And then every other Saturday, so not this Saturday, but next Saturday, is our Sabbat game set in Berlin 1966. And I play a very terrifying Zamitzi that everyone apparently loves. And then, of course, next Saturday night, we'll be back here again, digging into our feelings and our emotions. And I can't wait. And I'm going to cry some more. So, yeah, that's where you can find me.
All right. Michi, you good to talk there, brother? You all right?
I'm good, yeah.
Okay.
I am Michi. You can find me on Twitter at Michisaurus. You can see me here on Monday nights playing Masks with Teddy and Fox. You can find me here every other Thursday playing Pokemon, also with Nerdy down there. And you can find me here on next couple of Saturdays with this group.
And hey, I am as yet still Fox Barrett at Fox_Barrett on Twitter, where I basically act super gay because it's Pride Month. So I'm gonna have a whole lot of gay thoughts for the next 30 days. Come yell at me. It'll be fantastic. As far as here on the channel, you can find me Sunday nights. I am part of Emissaries of Avithna. It's super cool and weird. Our next session will be starting up soon, actually, this weekend. Monday nights, I play Masks. That game is amazing. Come see Nerdy laugh at us for being shitty teenagers. And of course, Michi's in that too, and he's amazing. It's so good. We're gonna get new players soon, so that's also great. And finally, of course, I will be back here next week, 8 o'clock again, Eastern Time, to bring you the second installment of Pride After the Fall. We're gonna be playing The Quiet Year. Hopefully, that'll be a little more chill and less intense. It's not quite as we gotta make the slow ramp up to Dream Askew, y'all. Otherwise, that is it. I'm gonna have to sign off real quick here because, again, I don't want Brock to get pissed at me for going super over my time. Thank you so much. We will see you again soon. Stay safe.